Welcome, everyone, to episode 120 of the Looks Like a Movie podcast. My name is Kevin. I'm here with Doug and Owen and our returning guest, Max, to talk about Bring Her Back. But first, as always, we could talk about what we watched this past week. Max, would you like to get us started with recommendations with what you've been watching?
Yes. The only thing I watched was a movie called Black Cat. It's like a Italian, supposed to be British horror movie, and I watched it while I was working. I just been working so much, and then I did watch Bring Her Back as well, and then
Yeah,
last week I
thankfully.
watched Final Destination 6, which is truly a revelation.
Yeah.
So beautiful, so good. Loved it. I
Where
can't believe that that movie was as good as it was.
Yeah, could we ask, because we did, me and Owen did the Final Destination episode, could we ask where you'd say it falls in the franchise? You think it's the best one?
It's not my favorite, but I do think that like if we're talking about objective standards of quality, yes.
Okay.
I think that it has like a plot and that's different for that franchise.
Yeah.
And it's got like a lot,
It's
it's got
It's
like
new
real
territory.
character
Yeah, yeah.
motivations. They seem
Yeah.
real, like real people. They don't
Yeah,
deny that death is after them up until their head gets cut off by an elevator. That's always like that
yeah.
franchise is like, I don't think so, guys, and their head's in a blender. It's like this just
Yeah.
happened by accident. It seems to be a mistake.
Yeah.
And it's
I
like,
think I
okay.
said that. I think I said that to Owen when we did the Final Destination episode. Was that like the one of the big problems with all the other movies is that there's never somebody who just like catches on right
No,
away.
yeah, they're
And
all
in
really
my head,
stupid.
yeah, and in my head, I'm just like the second I see somebody die by like a million different
Yeah.
things going wrong, I would just
Yeah.
be like, yeah, I believe it. Like it's like there's something
Yeah.
funny happening here. But
No,
they,
yeah, it's
it
like
always takes like four people dying for them to be like, hey, maybe we should do something about this.
Mhm.
yeah, and it's like oh, another freak accident. We should go to like to IKEA, and then it's like no, there's no, you know what I mean? It's like
Yeah,
don't go to IKEA.
yeah,
But yeah, I loved Final Destination 6. I thought it was great.
yeah. That's exciting. Doug, you want to take it away?
I watched yeah, of course. I
Okay.
watched
No,
I
yeah, sure. Take your
watched
time.
what day is it? It's the first.
Oh, no, don't even. Yeah, listen. Take your time. No, just figure it out. Do the math. It's fine.
Go ahead. Yeah, go. Yeah, yeah.
You
It's
can
your
do it.
turn, dude.
You can
It's
use your
okay. No,
fingers. if you
everybody's
need
waiting
to.
for you.
Yeah. Well, which
No
one is it?
pressure.
Is it like take your time, or is everybody waiting for you, Kevin? Like
Well,
which?
both are
It's
valid.
Be
Both could
deliberate.
be true at the same time.
Yeah, but they both have like different like senses of urgency behind
Okay,
like that.
sure.
Yeah, it's like they do come across like emotionally contradictory. Anyways, I
Yeah,
watched
sure. Okay.
Well,
Portrait of Madame Yuki, which is
Mhm.
really good. And I watched the first two Conjuring movies, which are really good.
Oh, I watched those too. Sorry.
Yeah.
We watched them together.
We did watch
Yeah.
them together. And I watched Limelight.
Oh, I watched that together too.
Yeah. Max watched most of this.
I
with
just
us.
really- I
Max
watched
just
all
watched
that.
more movies than he thought he did.
Well, I mean, I'm working at the same time, but it was in the Discord, so I'm just like sitting there watching it while I'm working. So
Yeah. Limelight is like the fucking best movie ever, dude. And then me and Kevin, at Pull Up Your Spot, me and Kevin watched Romancing in Thin Air together.
Yes.
Johnny To, which really insane movie.
yeah.
I don't even know what else to say other than that, but really insane movie. Yeah, and that's it. It was a good week. It was fun. We watched movies.
Agreed. Yeah. You've been what was the Charlie Chaplin movie?
Limelight.
Limelight, right? You've been posting about that quite a bit.
Yeah, because
You've been
everybody
doing
should be
regular-
watching it. Yeah.
regular posts about it. Owen, what did you watch?
okay. I watched Four Adventures of Raynette and Mirabelle, the Eric Romer movie, and I think this is my second of his, but I did really like this one a lot. So I'll be watching more in the future, but this is my favorite so far. And then I watched some short films, and then I there was like a Shudder like 7-day free trial or something. So I watched this movie. What on Letterboxd it's called The Outing, but when I watched the movie, it was called like The Lamp. And it was like this like 80s genie like djinn horror movie.
Yeah, I saw you watch
Um,
this.
This wasn't
And
good. It wasn't
why
that
did
good.
why did you watch it?
Um, I was on Shudder. Well, I was looking for like just like teen, like sort of like not maybe slasher, but just like horror, kind of random movie. Oh,
Okay.
hello.
You got a 7-day free trial to watch The Lamp.
I think the Jin got me. Oh, I'm back. Oh, the fuck.
Oh, he cut out. I thought he just
He
stopped.
cut out.
I thought he
Yeah,
just
no, I know. You
ended
No,
it.
didn't
And
have
I
no.
was. He just said that
deep
one
in
bar
thought
and then
about
just
this
stopped.
movie.
No, whoa. Okay, am I
Well,
back?
because I saw that you logged
back,
it,
yeah.
and I clicked on the movie, and I was like, "Oh, nobody's really seen this." And I like went through like the
Yeah.
director and the cast, and I was like, "Why the fuck did you watch this?" I was like,
No, yeah. It was just I was looking at everything. It was like I don't know. There was a section on Shutter that I was looking at. And I was like, sure, I'll throw this on. And it wasn't good. But I was kind of working and looking for things. But then I watched The Church, which I had heard about, and I know people had seen. And that was also on Shutter, so I watched that as well, which was better. That was better.
By a lot or
And then I
no?
watched this movie. Yeah, I mean, it was a good movie. I didn't, there was, I liked it a lot better. I watched this movie A Little Stiff, which is this like minimalist comedy, that I really really liked. And then I rewatched the Stenhall Syndrome, the Dario Argento movie, which is in my favorite of his, but just with like some of the museum art stuff I wanted to rewatch for the script. And then I watched Lilith, the Robert Rosen movie from 1964, with William Beatty, or Warren Beatty, my bad. And I really like this movie a lot. This is really great. And that was pretty much it. Then I watched Bring Her Back. Some little like other short stuff in there, but those are kind of the main things.
Nice. Okay. I also didn't. Well, I didn't watch a lot. I rewatched two of my favorite movies. One of which, speaking of Romare, The Green Ray, um, and then I rewatched The Abyss because it was on my mind after the scene in the new Mission Impossible. I kept talking about it, and it made me just kind of want to put The Abyss on instead. So I put The Abyss on. Really good movie, The Abyss. And then I watched Nothing But a Man, because sadly the director Michael, is it, I don't know if it's pronounced Romer. It's like
I think it's
my
Romer.
yeah, because my mind wants to say Romare because it's so similar to Romare, but I think it's Romer. Anyway, he passed away like 2 weeks ago, and I have not seen any of his movies. He only had a handful of movies, but this one looked really good, and so I put it on, and I was correct. It is really good. Um, there's also this guy Ivan Dixon who plays like the lead in the movie. He's like unbelievable. He's in the 1961 A Raisin in the Sun. And then he's in these a couple other movies. Like he's in this movie that my therapist recommended to me, actually, that nobody I follow has seen, but it looks really good. He's very good in that movie. Nothing But a Man. Would recommend people watch that one. And then I watched Romancing in Thin Air with Doug, which is like half like Hallmark Disney movie directed by like one of the greatest living directors. It very much like for like 80% of the movie's runtime, like I didn't know how Doug and our friend Hardy felt while watching it. But for like 80% of the movie's runtime, it was essentially like the like sappy teen romances that I watched when I was like 13, like that's what it reminded me of for like most of the movie, but just like directed by somebody way better than the people directing those movies. And then like the last 20 minutes of the movie happens, and
Yeah,
it's like,
the
oh,
ending of the
this is
movie
a
goes
perfect
insane.
movie actually, which is so weird because I already like loved it for what it was. Which again, like I don't know that everybody would have the same relationship because the plot is essentially like a Hallmark movie, so a lot of people might watch it and be like, this is dumb, and then randomly at the end it actually just turns into like the most profound, like beautiful movie that you've ever seen, just out of nowhere.
It is
And
very like
I
Disney
like that.
movie concept though. I was reminded of the
Yeah.
film Starstruck.
Mm-hmm.
It's very like
That's
it's
the
like kind of,
movie. There you go.
yeah, in
Wow.
terms
Yeah.
of like narrative idea, like concept, it's very similar to something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's why it's like, I don't know. It's like a weird one to recommend because if you're like a fan of Johnny Toe, then it almost feels like the easiest recommendation ever. But if you're just like recommending it to someone you know is like a hey, watch this like romance, and then they put it on and they're like, this is a fucking Hallmark movie, and then they're like, what are you showing me? But it's so good. Like it's like kind of immediately just like one of my favorite movies that I've seen. And then I watched Bring Her Back last night. I did start watching the first Fast and the Furious movie on Tubi with my girlfriend, and then it was late,
Tubi.
and we got no, but listen to this. How unfortunate is this? We were watching it last night, and we got through like an hour of the movie, but it was pretty late at night, and I was tired, so I was like, okay, we'll just finish it tomorrow because I've already seen Fast and Furious so many times. And we go to put it on this morning, and it's June 1st, and Tubi changed their catalog and got rid of the Fast and Furious movie.
Oh my god.
I was like, I went to my continue watching, and I was like, why is it not here? And then I like search it up, and it's gone. And I was like, what the fuck?
That's funny.
So it just disappeared overnight, and now we can't finish it. I mean, we can finish it if we want to, but it's just like Tubi was
That's
convenient.
gotta be on something else. Like, there's no
It's
way.
not. They're not streaming on anything. Weird.
Fast and the Furious is not streaming on anything except Tubi?
It's not. I thought it would be on like Max or something, but no.
No, I'm just kidding. Okay.
So anyway, I watched like the first hour of Fast and the Furious last night.
That's awesome.
But now we can talk about Bring Her Back, the new Filippo brothers movie. That's their follow-up to.
Is that how you say their name?
Yeah, I believe it's Filippo. Yeah, I looked this up when I was making a video on it because I thought it was Philippou, which it is.
I'm so glad it's not.
That's kind of how
according to Google, it's Philippou.
They're kind of filled with poo. You know what I'm saying?
Raka.
Yeah, raka. That's how I said. Yeah.
Anyway, their debut Talk to Me was their last movie that Max was also on the podcast
like 5 years ago.
Yeah, literally 2 years ago.
Now,
2018, that was awesome.
Now we've got Bring Her Back. Where do we want to start? Do we want to talk about it in relationship to Talk to Me?
Let's start with all of our star ratings. So, Kevin, you gave this movie 2.5 stars. I gave this movie 2.5 stars. Max gave this movie 3 stars. Oh, and what did you give this movie?
So you start with 5, then it goes down to 4. Then there's the 3 option.
But use halves.
Then there's
you're skipping all the halves.
I can't do that many. Then you got like the half star that I landed on because I didn't like this movie, so I gave this movie a half star.
Okay. Yeah, tell us a little bit about that.
The star?
Just like why you didn't like it.
Oh, this movie stinks. Oh. Yeah, I didn't like it. And I was kind of like, it's tough when you are like kind of late to the movie of the week because it's like I already knew. I was like, okay, I am probably not gonna like this movie. Saw it last night, but duty calls. So go to the theater. I was originally like, because sometimes I'm like, I'd rather go to a later screening, if there's like less people than like a full screening. But I didn't want to get out like midnight. So I saw it at like 7 in like a full theater. And yeah, I feel like I might be a little more lenient if like I saw this. I don't know. I feel like
no, I think you're on the right track.
Something with Talk to Me.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, like they have like one move. It's like they have like
yeah.
They're just like fucking spamming
it's like
move.
The Kareem, like it's like the sky hook.
It's like it's like they're like there's the scenes where they're people who are like injuring themselves on purpose, and it's like, oh, this is like very visceral and gross, and like it's shock value. But then like I just like there's the rest of the movie, like I'm not like feeling or caring anything about it outside of like when it does like this gross like shock horror stuff. And I just didn't feel like any of that was really like earned or like did anything else than just me being like, oh, this is gross, I don't like looking at this. Like I didn't like hate any of the performances. Like I felt like, I mean, the actors were good, they're good actors, but like I just like, it was like, oh, this is like, I don't like looking at this, and it's not like giving me anything else. and then I just thought the ending was dreadful. It was like, okay, I really don't like this at all, but like you can, if you end it nice, like if there's something like you can save the movie a little bit here, and then it was like, oh, they're just kind of, it felt like they were writing, and it was just like they just kept writing. And I was like, oh, it's just keep going, and there wasn't really it didn't feel like there was a plan really on how it was going to end. It just kind of had to end, sort of, and I didn't think it ended in like a way that I cared about at all. I just really didn't care about any of it, and I didn't like looking at it. So it's
Yeah.
not really a movie that I'll ever kind of engage with then again. And I made a TikTok video about it, and I talked about when Soderbergh. I love this phrase that he used for with presents and not wanting it to be single use plastic, and it very much felt like a movie that it's like, oh, it's really gross, and when you see the movie in the theater, and then you're like, wow, that was really gross, and then you kind of move on with your day, and you're like, okay, that was it didn't really do much else for me, so wasn't crazy about it. And I think with Talk to Me, it was like, okay, it's a debut, it's like whatever. And I thought I kind of like it was more fun beats to Talk to Me. This is
Yeah.
kind of just like really down. Like
I
I don't know. There's like the party elements. I didn't. The party element in this movie, they have like a party moment, and it's like I don't
like
know.
so
Like
dumb.
it's like it's like like
Yeah.
Sally Hawkins is trying to get the underage blind girl drunk. I'm like, I don't like, I'm not like vibing with this party at all.
Talk to Me had really great performances from its
Yeah.
actors.
Mhm.
That I think that's like the biggest thing
I
that I
like
kind
the
of
I like the lead guy in this. I think he's fine. Like it's not like a Tubi performance. I don't know. Like it's like like
no,
he's
but
like
like
he can
yeah,
act. And Sally Hawkins, I love.
I don't think
So
Sally Hawkins is very good in
I
this
don't. I
movie.
mean, it's like she's not like, I don't think it's
Oh,
like
I
a.
think she's good in this.
I think
she's
she's
good.
Yeah.
good. I
I
just
think
like
she's
it's not like anything. It's not her best work or anything, but I don't think she's bad in the movie.
Yeah.
I think really, I don't know. I was thinking, well, I just think that's for some of the scenes, I was imagining like, okay, what if we got some different actors in here and we got like a different director in here? And I was like, oh, then this scene could have been kind of interesting, maybe. And I was thinking like I thought that like 5 times throughout the movie. um, I don't know. It is not my favorite movie in the world. I don't hate it though. I identified this movie as slop, right? And I made that
Mhm.
really clear because it's like all I could
People
really
got
think about.
upset. People are upset that you
Yes,
say that, or I said something similar, and people were upset that this was
I,
identified as slop.
I think people need to get over themselves a little bit, and I'm willing to defend this position. And I
Okay.
think Max might even push back on it, but I'm willing to defend this position where it's like
Maybe, but maybe no. We'll
I
see.
think I think that there's a couple of things that go into this. One of those things is like this movie is so similar to Talk to Me formally, right? That and like kind of like with its ideas that it's like okay, now we're kind of just like retreading the same water here. So that's like part of it. And then the other part of it is like why are these brothers making movies? You know what I mean? And I think that is like that's part of why like oh this is slop. Like why are these brothers making movies? Is there like an artful intent here? Are they like are they sharing like a meaningful perspective on the world? Are they even trying to do something new? Right? Are they kind of like experimenting
Then Eastwood
the
said,
form at
"Make
all?
something new or stay home."
And I'm honestly, and again, I'm not even being like, I'm not trying to be rude. My takeaway from this movie to all of those questions is like, no, it's
Yeah.
like it's content, and that's fine. Some people will find it really entertaining. I found it
Yeah.
entertaining at moments, but it's like, it's kind of like, oh, it's another one, and now it's like I know what I'm gonna get from these guys, and they're gonna churn out 5 more movies just like this. I feel very convinced of that. That's what I mean
Yeah.
when I'm like, oh, it's kind of like slop.
I agree with that perspective. I like it's like you said, it's like I almost feel bad because they seem like perfectly nice guys and
Yeah.
like everybody kind of likes them or whatever. And so it's like it almost feels mean saying like framing it that way. But when you watch it, it's like it does feel like the ideas in the movie and the script, like Owen said, are just like they just exist to get to the stuff that the guys actually want to do, which is just like gross shit, like shock moments and like gross shit. And it's like
Close up of a fucked up eye.
that's really their desire, but like
They
they
love
want
a
it's like
fucked up eye.
Yeah.
yeah, but it's like weird because they're like I don't know why they wouldn't lean more into just like doing that and not making it seem like a movie that's meaningful. It's like
Yeah, it
they're
has
like
that like
trying, you know what I
elevated
mean?
like
They're trying
fucking
to
thing
frame it
tone
where
on
it's
it.
like you're supposed to be getting something out of this because they like want to feel important. Like they want to like feel like the horror movie they're making is like important, but then it ends up not being important because they
Yeah.
actually like there's like stuff in it where you're like, oh, if you took like a couple minutes to actually explore this with any amount of depth, you'd have an interesting idea. But they never do that. Like they're really just trying to
Yeah.
get to those beats. So it's just like, okay, I don't know. It's like it's weird to me that they care to present it like something meaningful when they could just like lean way more into like exploitation if that was like their desire,
And they
or just
should.
like, yeah, or just like actually making a meaningful movie. I don't know, but it's like, but it's like, just why are you,
Yeah.
I like, there's like, what did you get out of the movie? Like I'm so, you know what I mean? It's like for the people that are enjoying it, I'm just like wondering
No, yeah,
what you
people are
learned about
telling
the
me that it's
world
like this
when you left
grand
the theater.
exploration of like trauma and grief
Yeah,
and
but
like
it's like
it's
what,
like
it's like the
bro,
person, I don't know. It's like
what?
I keep seeing people talking about this, like, you know, like the cyclical nature, and it's like, oh, she's traumatized, so then she like does like she, because of the
Bitch,
trauma,
shut
she
the
like
hell up with this
she like
elevated
inflicts
horror
violence
shit.
I
onto
think it
others,
just
and
because
it's
it
like
has the
whatever, dude.
A24
Like
logo
what?
playing before it. People are
Yeah.
like, it has to have a
Yeah.
meaning. Like they
Yes.
have.
Well, that's
Well,
what I mean. It's slop with the prestige sticker, and the A24 is the prestige
What
sticker on
is
it. But this shit is fucking
Yeah.
it
slop,
feels
bro.
it feels like an elevated horror outline where it's like, okay, so these are the points, and then these are the sub points, and then these are the points we need to hit. And
Yeah.
ultimately, like, it's like we put a blind girl in an abusive adoption situation, not clickbait. Like that's what it is, sort of. And
Yeah.
it's fine with me because I thought Talk to Me was worse. Like I thought this was a lot better than Talk to Me, to be honest, because Talk to Me has it definitely has more intention, but the
Yeah.
intention is so bad. I think
Yeah.
Sure,
that
sure.
like this to me was like I was like, yes,
Yeah.
a little
Like
less intention and more eating a knife. I
yeah,
don't
yeah.
care.
Yeah.
So that
That
is
that was just
sort of my
brutal.
main criticism of their it's like when they do have intention, it's like, ooh, oh, let's back up and let's
Yeah.
just have terrifying things happening in front of a an exploited blind girl, and
Yeah.
she's like, what are you guys doing? And they're like, nothing, and she's like, okay, I'm gonna get a snack, and it's like there's like a weird curly haired boy that you're lying to me about who lives with me. Okay, make him eat a
Oh, yeah,
knife.
that's
I don't
that.
care.
No, that's interesting. I think it's a fun idea where it's like, oh,
Yeah,
you stick like a blind girl and then a mute boy that don't know each other in the room, and one of them's
yeah,
dangerous, or like the
not
mute guy
clickbait.
is like
Yeah,
dangerous. Like they didn't really do
yeah,
anything, but that's like a fun idea for like an exploitation
yeah.
film, right?
Mr. Beast
Like,
is going
Right.
crazy in this
yeah,
one. So I think when they do have intention, honestly, it's actually worse, and they should just make exploitation movies. Because it's like if
Yeah.
you look at their YouTube stuff, they did like
Yeah.
the Ronald McDonald does a school shooting. That's like a title of one of their videos, I think. And it's like,
Mhm.
okay, well, let's see what they do with movies. And they're like, have you seen
Yeah.
Hereditary? And it's like,
yeah.
yeah, I
It's like
also saw your YouTube
Yeah.
videos. Just do that shit.
their two movies are basically like
Yeah,
trying to do Hereditary, but like literally worse in every single way. And it's not obviously
yeah.
like they're
Yeah.
like it's a different take like narratively, like they have different ideas,
Yeah,
but
but I
like
don't like that shit. That
I
shit
know
is
that well, I know that you don't like it. I really like
Yeah.
Hereditary, but also like Hereditary is different too in the sense that like it actually is about trauma and like it's like kind of smart about it in a way.
yeah.
This
Yeah.
doesn't feel like it's really about anything, and it doesn't feel very
Yeah.
smart in any
Well,
way.
it's like it's exploitation because it's using trauma as an excuse to abuse people, as opposed to exploring that in a way where it seems like they're
Yeah.
interested in trauma at all. It's like
Yeah,
fucking
Yeah.
whatever, she's blind. That's the other thing too. Sorry. It's like the blind girl in this movie. I'm like, is she gonna do anything at some point? And it's like, yeah, what if she plays soccer?
well
Okay.
Yeah,
the
what
first
I don't know. That
that's
part was weird.
yeah,
She was
well,
like,
yeah,
look,
they
she's
like
playing
her playing
soccer. Well, okay.
soccer, and that was like the or whatever kind of whatever sport that was.
Yeah.
And they like set it up so that she could like hit her with the can. The next scene was that like the whole
Well, it was just
set
like
up the
it was
movie
like
off of
the
that.
one scene you see her playing some kind of contact sport, blind contact sport, which is fine. But
yeah.
that's like, and then like right after that, it's like, and guess what? That's why she can do this, and she does like a backflip and kicks the lady in the face or something.
Yeah,
Turns into
no,
an
literally.
assassin. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Um,
So that's what that scene was for.
well, I also
Yeah.
thought it was interesting how the very first scene of the movie, she's this blind character is the first character that we're introduced to, and she's like getting bullied. It's like they're telling us how like she's like not uh yeah, she's just getting bullied, and I thought that
And
was
then
like,
she's like, "Are they bullying me?" And he's like, "No, they like you." I don't know.
well,
It's like I just think a lot of the blind stuff in this is like I understand you
Yeah.
actually cast a blind actress, but like I don't know if you get that many points if the whole point of her being there is like, okay, I'm gonna go to my room. You know what I mean?
well,
It's like while
yeah,
they're eating their own skin,
or and
and she's
also
like,
like they use blindness as like a thing to get cured, but spoilers, she's
do
not
they?
blind at the end of the movie. Um,
Also, don't have a pool if your daughter's blind, bitch. Like, do not have
Put
an
like
uncovered
a
pool.
tarp, yeah, like something over it to like
Put something over it. Put a fence up. Damn, because the
like
daughter drowned.
yeah, and then, well, yeah. I mean, after that, you would naturally, but like she wanted
Yeah.
more people to drown, so.
Yeah. And then she's like, she goes through the adoption drive-through. Can I get one that's blind? It's like I don't know, like the whole
No,
process
yeah.
of adoption in this is weird.
Well, it's so funny. Like the lady who works there is like, no, she's the best. Like like she just like clicks like blind like every
No,
time.
she's super
It's like-
obsessed with blind kids. She's awesome.
no, she's like, hey, I really need this one blind kid, and I know that she's really close with her brother. I absolutely do not want the brother though.
Yeah,
And they're
no,
like,
but she's like
well,
she's totally like she's great.
I
Like,
feel
you
like
love
if
her.
I was the lady that was handling like their adoption, like
yeah.
I would be like, oh well, I'm gonna find a different home then, so that they can
Wait,
both be
that
together.
shit's wait. I guess it's not a. It's like foster home though. It's like
Yeah.
Yeah, it's foster home. Yeah,
But, like, so,
Imagine
like,
going
'cause I was gonna
to
say-
go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say like
17-year-olds
'cause,
don't get
like
adopted.
they just like send her. They just send them to her. Like there's no like they don't like come and like see. There's not like a
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
process.
that's
of that
the
is
weird
very,
thing.
She
like,
never met
is
them
they-
first, right?
No, and they also
Yeah.
like say something like I forget the line, but like there's like something she says vaguely about like because they say that the boy has like a background as like a troubled kid,
Yeah.
and then
Which
she
was
says
also
something.
weird. Yeah.
She says something along the lines of like, oh, she's got like a problem with it. Like there's like something
what
in
the
the
fuck was
past with like a
that?
troubled kid, but it wasn't her daughter, and so it's like. What is that thing in the past?
it's-
But then also, why are you sending him to her house without making sure? You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
like it's like she has a problem with troubled kids, and you're sending the troubled kid to her house, and you're not even like
Yeah.
letting them meet each other first. Like what?
Yeah,
How does that
imagine
work?
going to an adoption agency and it's accidentally BOGO week. It's like, sorry. Like, that's crazy to me.
Well, I think the idea is like they she's like a foster parent, but like I don't think that
Yeah.
they knew that they had. I think they were under the impression that she had no kids in her house, and it was just
Yeah.
going to be the
Sure,
two of
yeah,
them.
that the kid that she kidnapped was not there.
Yes.
Obviously.
Maybe
Yeah,
it would have
because,
worked
like, she
better
wouldn't-
if
she wouldn't
like
make that
the
public, but-
adoption or the foster lady, like the person who like runs the place, was like in on it. She was like, hey, because it makes more sense.
Like,
if
it's a
she's
cult.
Yeah.
She's just finding the blind kids
Yeah,
and
like,
sending them her
that's
way.
basically how it like works out. Where she's like, here's
Yeah.
these blind kids for you.
I was like
Or-
really kind of locked into the movie, and I was like really like pretty entertained, and I was like, oh, like what's gonna happen next? Like I wanted to know how it ended. And then there was like the montage scene of her like running around cleaning her house to music.
Oh,
I
yeah.
hated
And
that.
that's kind of like what
Yeah.
I checked out a little bit, and I was like, oh, they jumped the shark a little bit with the tone of this movie. I was like, that was a little
Yeah.
bit too ridiculous.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I was when they hit that lady with the car, I was really mad. I was like, "Fuck
Oh, I
yeah."
like that.
Well,
I
I
thought
was
that
like,
was so funny.
it was so obvious, like
Yeah.
bullshit. I was like, come on.
Yeah.
man.
But like they,
Well,
that-
because it's just like, what do you think she's gonna do?
yeah,
like,
no,
yeah,
I was like,
I
the
have an
hitting her with the
idea.
car, I thought was yeah,
Yeah.
I thought
Yeah.
that was
I,
fine.
I think there are. Who said that you thought she was in on it?
Owen.
Well, I didn't think she was in. I thought that would be an interesting way to.
How
Make it
how
not,
cool
like,
would it have
stupid.
been if like the rituals? Because also she has the rituals like a how
On
to do a
VHS.
ritual VHS tapes.
Yeah.
Well, and it's like
Which
on
is
the
like-
screen it says like, and then do this, and then
Yeah.
and it's like, what the fuck?
That shit was so
edited
bad.
The
this?
next step in the process is to adopt. And I think it would have been great if the adoption agency was like a human trafficking organization for Satanism, and it is like a cabal,
Yeah,
and they're the ones who are providing the tapes. They know that she's doing this. They're essentially allowing her to take some of the children to perform rituals.
yeah.
I think that would have been great, and it would have really kind of tied the movie together. Because
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah,
I don't know
thought it
where
was
she
gonna
got
be
these
so much
fucking
more.
tapes.
Well, yeah, I thought it was
If
gonna be so
Yeah.
much more because the opening
Yeah.
scene is like it was like them recording, like them videotaping the
Yeah.
rituals, right? And then
Yeah.
there's the like her back shed where it is revealed that that's where she's keeping her daughter's body, right? But in the back
Yeah.
shed,
Mhm.
right, where it's like always locked, I thought that was gonna go like down into like a fucking
Right.
yeah, they
barbarian
don't.
type cellar with a bunch of other
Yeah.
people.
It
That's what I
doesn't
thought
go
the videotapes were
deeper
That's
from.
yeah,
Like I
see,
thought
that's
they
what I thought that
because it's
was.
like they're so like creepy when they're introduced in the beginning that I'm like, why is this not explored more at all in the movie? Like the
Yeah.
lore of like that's I'm like this is probably the best like scary thing in the movie, and they
None of
spent
the ritual stuff
no
really
time
goes
like
anywhere.
yeah I'm like that's like kind of the best part like in terms of like if you were actually gonna scare me,
But I do agree. I think it would be like more interesting direction to go if like they're like, come on, like this lady's freaking crazy, and they drive this place lady to the place, and then she's like actually in on it though, because the moment where she's like, oh fuck, this actually is scary, and then she just like gets hit by a car. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
because
you know,
it's also like
Scarier
like
than
what
you think. And then sorry.
no, but like like the like the idea that like she is like inflicting this violence upon people because of the trauma that she's been through. It's also like more interesting to know how she got from point A to point B. You know what I mean? Like the idea
Sure.
that like she went from her daughter dying tragically to the point where she has these like cult videotapes that have some kind of like
yeah.
ritual to
Yeah.
bring her
How
back to
could
life.
she
It's like
possibly have
what
gotten her hands on those fucking videotapes?
that's what I'm saying, but it's like that's
EBay.
interesting. Like
It's
that
like a
is like
super
that
snuff
is
film. Like
because if you're like I don't know, like by the end of the movie, they're obviously like trying like when they're trying to bring the ideas home and like tie it all together with her character. I'm like, if you knew even an ounce of like what got her from her daughter dying to the point where she is fucking watching like cult videotapes trying to bring her back to life, that would like offer us something about like the greater ideas in the movie. But instead she has just like somehow mysteriously gotten to this point where she
Yeah.
has these videos. I'm like, why does she have these? And like, what are these? Like, I don't know. I just like,
Also, the overall tone of like the demonic nature of like what she's doing. Do you guys remember he's in the bathtub at one point? Okay, I think we probably should
yeah,
explain too. She's kidnapped a child.
yeah.
Yes.
She
And
has
then she's
kidnapped
like,
a child.
let me have some government oversight in here because I might be getting out of hand. So she adopts more kids, which is crazy if you have an abducted child in your home.
Yeah,
It's like, yeah, oh, hold on. I need a little more attention from people who could certainly punish me for these actions. And so she's adopted a kid that she has put a demon in. Like, what's
yeah,
occupying its body
I think it's like
before?
Satan because it's like she's
Yeah,
like, oh, how do I know that you're in there?
Satan.
And then it's like that's actually probably the coolest scene in the whole movie is when
The
yeah. I
she's
like
bath.
like
that part.
in the
I like
bath,
that
right?
part.
And
Yeah,
she's
Yeah,
like,
I
hey, like,
agree.
how do I know that you're in there if you're not going to talk? And then he like points to the mirror, and then the mirror starts fogging up, and then
yeah,
there's like a flash of like the devil in the mirror,
yeah.
and then
That is the
yeah.
only part of the movie that I thought was scary,
But
like
then that
effectively.
never, I was like, oh, uh-oh, the devil's in
Yeah,
your bathtub, get him out. And it's like, but then you never at any point go in that direction again. Where it's like, is there
yeah,
trickery involved in this? Where it's like, is this a demon trying to deceive her into believing she can bring her daughter back, but then it possesses whoever the ritual is performed on? That's what I was thinking was going to happen, is that like, oh, it's not her daughter, it's actually Satan, or whatever. And it's
Well,
not. It
yeah.
doesn't say that. Nothing happened. It's like, was the devil? Is he bad, or is he like, I'm just in the tub?
I was thinking
I'm just in the
also
tub.
like she would go through with the whole ritual, but she doesn't, which annoyed me a little bit. But I understand
Annoying,
like
yeah,
the thematic thing the movie was doing. I just thought it was annoying. Um,
yeah,
but like, and I was like, oh, she's gonna kill this kid, right, and go through the whole with
yeah,
the whole ritual, and then her daughter's gonna get conjured, and this fucking fucked up boy that you've created. Um, that's what I thought also might have happened.
Mhm.
Like this kid that she kidnapped and like tortured, and like her daughter was just gonna be in that body, and I was like, that would be not cool for her.
yeah. That's true. Because she's like,
For
shit,
anybody involved, actually.
he's not blind. This will not work. Um,
Yeah, well, it's the fact that she's blind, like it's kind of funny because like she, like what what it was there. She didn't really need a blind girl to put the blind girl in, like the old blind girl. Like I guess
she
she
just didn't
wanted it
want
to
her
be.
dear daughter to get overstimulated.
Though imagine she comes back and then she is not blind, and she's a little boy that is a demon.
Well, but also here's the what's the character Piper, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
She's not blind at the end of the movie. The last scene of the movie is her regaining her eyesight.
No,
Do you guys?
you're
Yes,
wrong, but that's
yes.
fine.
No, she's looking at the plane. It's her eyes fix at the end of the movie, and she's looking at the plane. That's what's being communicated at the end of the movie, right?
No,
And
but
she-
that's
she can
fine.
No,
We can
then
work
what
on
is it?
that.
Then what is it? Then what is it? Don't just say
And
no.
edit that out.
Then what is it? No, I'm so serious.
She hears the plane, Doug, and
And-
she looks up at the plane because she hears it. That's what
No.
at the beginning he's like, yeah, people just fly to heaven first class or something.
No, she's looking at it. Her eyes look a certain way the entire movie, and then at the end of the movie, she's no longer cross-eyed and her eyes are wide open, looking at the airplane.
Okay, you're right. Let's move on.
No, I'm saying, like, is that not what's being communicated in the movie? 'Cause I'm
No.
like,
She doesn't see at the end. Also,
Kevin,
who's
can
that
you chime
fucking
in
family
here?
who picks her up? That was weird too, where it's like, is
Well,
this my
yeah.
new mom and dad? What's going on? I don't know. They're like, we'll
I-
keep her, I guess.
I would have to rewatch to see what you're talking about, Doug. But I did not think
read
that
it
her
as she
blindness
can
was
I'm gonna
finally
tell you this.
see.
I'm
I
100%
just
sure
never
you're
thought
wrong.
That would be
No,
insane.
maybe
not.
he's right.
I'm actually
I don't
so
know.
shocked that the three of you did not. Okay.
What?
interesting.
I don't know. I kind of like. I will say, I kind of checked out during the ending when it was wrapping. When it was wrapping up and she like got saved, I was just like, okay. I just
Yeah.
kind of stopped paying attention.
Doug started writing a different movie.
Yeah,
So
maybe you're right.
you
I
know.
literally like I might have just missed that. Like I might have.
We're
just,
not
like,
entertaining
No,
this.
I know. I'm like so like because, no. It's literally because like her eyes straighten out. That's where I'm like, it's like, oh, they're communicating.
I don't
Well,
think
it's a
that happened.
reverse shot of her looking out the window at something, and then her eyes have straightened out after being like a certain way the entire movie. That's why I'm like, oh yeah, they're communicating that her blindness is cured because she was only partially blind. She wasn't even completely blind the whole time. That's also
Yeah, that is true.
that's where I'm like, I'm saying like also I'm saying I think that's a bad decision, but now without the fact I don't think it matters because none of you guys even picked up on it now. That's where
I don't think it happened. Yeah, I don't think that
Well, I don't think
happens.
it happened. That's why we didn't pick up on it because you invented
Because she
that.
hears the plane and then she like turns her head towards the plane.
No, she's not. She's no. It's the filmic language of the editing is communicating when she's looking at the airplane. That's why.
Who's
I'm
that?
kidding.
Who's it communicating that to though? Because out of 4 people, only one
The
of them
only
had
person
that
that knows how to
question.
watch a fucking movie, I guess, I can.
And I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest with you. Statistically, I think that number would dwindle the more people who watched it. I think it would be. I think it would be 1 out of
I don't think-
100 people.
Try to
If we
find,
had
try to find
100
an
people in
article
here.
where they your eyes get.
No,
cured.
yeah. So you you look up Bring Her Back Explained for us right now, and we'll finish
Yeah.
up.
And it's
here.
gonna have a circle around the kid, saying, "This kid is not what you think."
Did you also? I don't know.
It is
this
by
is
Raka
another-
Raka. No, I'm just kidding.
This is another
Um,
thing that I thought about a lot while I was watching the movie, and I think this might just be because it's been however long since Talk to Me came out, and I don't remember exactly what it felt like watching Talk to Me. But I was like, I thought this was like considerably less scary because there was like stuff in the movie like really annoying me, where like a lot of stuff that was happening, they were just like, I don't remember if they do this in Talk to Me, but they're just like describing every scene. Like there's like characters like saying the stuff that's going to happen like as it's happening, and I'm like, why is this happening? There's like a scene where like they say like he's like at like the adoption agency like telling the lady, and he's like and the lady's like, she would never hurt a kid, and then like immediately it cuts to
Okay.
Sally Hawkins and the kid is like covered in blood, and I'm like,
Which is
why is
yeah.
there like every single scare in the movie, there's like someone either actively like saying the scare as it's happening or saying it right before it's happening, and I'm like, did this happen with all the scares in Talk to Me? Like I thought Talk to Me was way scared, like way creepier. I don't remember it being like that, where it was like they were like describing everything to you. It was so strange.
I think that
Well,
was
I don't
intended
know.
to be comedic, though. It's like she's
Okay,
like, no, he
sure.
never, and then it's like a child eating the table.
No, yeah, I
And
mean
it's like,
that's
oh,
fine.
okay.
That's fine, but like it just made the whole movie not scary to me. Like I don't. There's like not a point even watching the gross stuff. I was just like, I think it's because I was paying too much attention to what we were saying, which is like the fact that they don't actually care about any of the ideas and they're like just trying to get the gross shit across is that like by the time we got to like the gross shit, I was just like, oh, this is so obviously just like you wanting to show us this that it's not even like it's so disconnected from the
Yeah.
emotions of the story or like the characters that I was like, nothing about this is scary. Like this is just like a thing that I'm looking at right now. And I don't know. I thought it was way less scary than Talk to Me. Like I don't, other than that bathtub scene, like that jump scare genuinely like got me pretty good. There was not a single moment in the movie that I thought was like even kind of creepy. I mean, there were a couple that like should have been creepy and then they don't care, like the videotape thing where it's like there's like parts where they're showing the videotape and they're showing it for like 2 seconds and then they just like cut away from it and I'm like
Yeah.
like that would probably be the creepiest part of the movie if you showed us more of the videotape or just like any, I don't know. That was my other problem. I don't, maybe it's just, maybe Talk to Me is exactly like that and I just don't remember because
Yeah, well, that's what I was
haven't
like.
seen
I
it in
probably was like, oh, I
years.
probably would like Talk to Me way less if I saw it.
That was my predicament while I was watching it. I was like, is this exactly what Talk to Me is like? And I don't remember. And then I'm like, I'm also not going to rewatch Talk to Me. So I'll
Yeah.
probably never know. But
Uh,
for, I know Max, like you said, you like this more than Talk to Me. And I think I
Yeah.
agree with the point you're making about like Talk to Me's intentions. But I at least remember having way more fun with Talk to Me than I did with this, like for most of the movie.
Well, Talk to Me, sorry, Talk to Me was like it starts out in a way that I thought was really cool. This like party sort of environment where it's
Yeah.
everybody and they're like filming people being possessed by demons. I think with Talk to Me, the trauma aspects of the movie are more annoying because it
Yeah.
interrupts what I think could have been a really fun horror movie. Whereas with this, we start with the trauma, we stay with the trauma. It's kind of consistent throughout, and it never gives us a glimpse of something that I think would have been like infinitely better. Whereas Talk to Me was teasing me with a
yeah.
more fun fucking movie.
Yeah. Sure.
And this one's
I don't
like,
know.
no, this is what it is. And I was like, okay, well, you know. And I think I'm particularly vulnerable to horror slop. It's like if somebody eats a knife in your movie, I'm giving it at least 2.5 stars.
No,
And I
that's
gave it
okay.
an extra half star because I like when they're in the pool together at the end. I was like, oh, look at them waiting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I agree with the party thing too, where it's like I just like Talk to Me just kind of has like an energy to it for like most of the movie that this movie
Yeah, well, it
literally
has like a
absolutely
kind of teen horror like ensemble
yeah, it's like
piece.
fun
Yeah,
and like this movie just like never, which is fine. Like if this movie is supposed to be less fun,
I
but
did
I
think
just
it
like
was fun, actually. I don't think that it wasn't fun or not creepy. I think it is creepy. You were like, it's not really creepy. It's
I don't
like the
know. That's just
kid's
like
biting his skin off. I don't. It's like that's creepy.
that
Like
like never
I think
bothered
it's
me. I
creepy.
don't know. I just like it's weird.
Eh,
Doug, Owen, do you have a perspective on that? Like I swear, I just like I was so
yeah.
annoyed by
Fuck
those
that
things that we're
shit.
talking about that I'm like I don't know. I never thought it was creepy.
No,
What
the
happened to
movie was
Kevin,
lit too
man?
bright to be creepy.
What?
What did you say, Owen?
It was
You
lit
said
too
what?
bright to be creepy.
Yeah,
Oh,
too much
Oh,
sunlight going on for it to be creepy. Those big
sure.
ass windows in our house.
a
Mm,
lot of
I thought it
natural
was.
sunlight.
I thought that him eating I thought that him one handing this kid that he doesn't know the fucking big ass
yeah,
knife
that was
was
stupid.
funny,
That
but
was
then him
stupid.
doing that, then turning around and then turning back around and then be like,
Yeah.
whoa, 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 whoa.
yeah, that
It's
was.
Oh,
funny because when he turns around, you like know that the kid's about to eat a knife.
yeah,
I didn't expect it to look like that though. I think that was like
Sure,
really
yeah.
gross. And he like breaks
Sure,
his
yeah, it was
tooth
gross.
yeah, he like
and
cuts like into his gums
Yeah,
and
the way
ugh,
it like goes deep in it,
eh.
yeah, that's pretty nasty. I
Yeah.
agree, but I don't know.
That's
It
also
just
the
like it,
first overtly threatening thing that happens in the movie, I would
yeah,
say.
like big gore moment, yeah,
At least in like the current timeline. I mean, obviously you see the tapes beforehand and like the ritual, but that's like the first
sure.
moment
The
where
mysterious tapes, yeah.
something threatening happens. And then I don't know. I liked Sally Hawkins in this a lot. I thought she was really fun.
I did, yeah. I really liked all three of the kids too. I thought they're
Yeah,
all like good.
oh yeah,
I feel like
yeah, me too.
between that, that was like my takeaway is like between that and Talk to Me. If we were gonna say like one positive thing about these guys, they're pretty good at finding child actors. Like they're pretty good at like picking or maybe just directing child actors. I don't know,
Yeah.
but they're like they both have like really good child acting performances in both movies.
Yeah.
So that's like I don't know. I don't know if you guys have anything nice you want to say about the movie before we wrap up, but
Yeah, let me.
but that was my big takeaway. And also, I think it's cool to like use Sally Hawkins in a role like this and like kind of
She did this
utilize
instead of
her.
Paddington 3.
That is true.
True.
Yeah, I
Damn.
guess that is how it worked out.
Wait, didn't Paddington? Wasn't that Paddington Goes to Peru? A different
Paddington
director.
Peru. Yeah, different
Yeah,
director.
Whatever.
it's still pretty good though. Probably would have been even better if Sally Hawkins was there.
Better than
Yeah.
I'll say it's better than this movie.
It is. Yeah, I'll say that too. It is better than this movie.
The part where they use a ritual to put Winnie the Pooh in his body is crazy, though. I was surprised by that in
When
Paddington in
Paddington
Peru.
eats the knife.
Yeah. He's like, "Is this marmalade? No, you dumb fucking bear." No, but I thought this movie. You said if anybody wants to say anything nice, I think if you like elevated horror, this you could do worse. There's definitely worse examples of this type of thing. And Owen, I think half a star. You gotta be able to go lower than this. You have to be able to, because I promise I could show you some stuff.
I don't want to watch worse than this.
I could show you some stuff though. But
yeah, I'll say something nice. It's better than Maxine.
Oh, true.
Sure.
Yeah, I think this is like well, yeah, by a lot actually.
Maxine.
Did I give that one half star
Maxine's
too?
Really bad.
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
if we were betting,
Did you even watch it? Because I don't even think you were on our episode for it.
No, he did. I was not on that episode. I
Oh,
was gone that episode,
God.
so he
Oh
had
my
to have
gosh.
watched it.
Yeah, that movie's like actively
Yeah, I did get a half
frustrating.
A
Whereas
movie
this
like
I just
Maxine's
casually
funny.
observe.
A movie's like Maxine's funny because you go on Letterboxd, right, and you look at your friends' ratings, and it's like a bunch of 1 stars. Then there's like 4 stars, just like in the middle of the sea of 1 stars. It's very.
That is
silly.
Jesse.
A movie like this is great because this
Yeah,
has
it's like Jesse.
this has a higher average rating on Letterboxd than Talk to Me, which people like. Love.
Yeah, but
like,
it's like
when Talk to Me came out, people were talking so highly about it. This has
Yeah.
an even higher rating than that, so it's like people.
yeah,
really
but
like
Talk to
these
Me has
guys.
1.29 million logs, and this has like
Yeah.
50,000.
Sure, yeah.
Talk
No,
to Me
it's
also
like-
has like a more diverse cast, so
Yeah,
It's a
I guess we could-
racism.
yeah.
Sure, yeah, that's true.
But yeah, I mean, it's like the sample size is different. This is gonna go down.
Yeah, but also maybe not by a lot.
I mean, if it gets 1 million more logs, it will change. So we'll see.
Sure, I don't think that the consensus opinion is going to vary.
Talk to
that
Me was a
much
little
when
bit of a
more people watch
sensation, though. I don't think that.
Yeah,
this
it
will
was
be the
kind of
same
a big deal.
It was kind of a big deal.
They're making a sequel.
Oh,
To me.
did you hear? Wait till we get to
prequel.
today's news.
Yeah, fuck those guys.
What's
they're
the
probably,
new?
I mean,
Oh,
they're
okay.
nice. They're nice. I think they're probably nice. But I will say, in terms of like the content stuff, I think it doesn't help that they were YouTubers, because you could point to that as like a reasoning for.
Yeah, I agree. I don't really think it's like.
Which I wasn't trying to, but
no, but it's like,
yeah.
I think, and I am like, I think there is something there, and there hasn't been a like that kind of, because YouTube and all that's like social media stuff is so new, and directors are normally like older than like 40, so like there hasn't been that much crossover. It's more, you see that more in like music, with like musicians being more involved in the social media space. But I think there is a place for, and there is like an opportunity for someone to kind of coexist in those spaces, but it doesn't help when they don't. There is a, you have to understand there is a difference between a YouTube video and like a movie. I mean, you can treat your YouTube videos like they're movies, but like in terms of like, especially you're talking about, I'm not familiar with their content.
Raka.
But like it does feel like they're a little too similar in terms of like how they're treating it.
I think A24 probably was like, "What's your next movie?" because Talk to Me was so successful.
Yeah,
and then I think that they probably just kind of rushed this out, to be honest, and that's why it has like a little bit of a
next one
content
after
sheen
this is
to
going
it.
to be a sequel to Talk to Me, though. You know.
Well, I know, I understand that, but it's like,
yeah, I don't know.
it feels like they were like, "We got to get another
how
movie
old are
from you
these
guys
guys?
because this was so." They're 21.
No, they're
No,
like in their
they're
30s.
not.
They're like in their mid to late 30s.
Late
probably.
30s, I'd say, because I
Yeah.
watched the. Did you guys see this? When did you see this? Did you see it when it was like the early screening?
I saw it yesterday.
I saw it
I
yesterday.
saw it
Okay.
on Thursday night.
So this movie,
If I'm not
32,
mistaken,
32.
while we're on the subject, I'm pretty sure I saw someone say, didn't they say that the script for this movie and Talk to Me were written at the same time?
That would make a lot of sense. It
They were
feels
yeah.
Like they filmed this after, but I think they wrote both of the scripts around the exact same time.
I remember something, and this might be like not exactly the quote, but they were talking about how like they were writing both scripts at the same time, and then they would just like be like they would write an idea and be like, okay, does this go in this movie or this movie? It was like, oh, okay. Like I don't
I
know how
almost feel like
I
it's
can't
separate
that is
concepts from the same idea.
which is kind of a crazy way to make a movie.
Yeah.
Also, it just feels like a bad way to like I don't know, because especially with like making a movie is a lot of work, and trying to make two at the same time feels like you're kind of stretching yourself a little thin with ideas,
yeah.
and like just put all the good ones in one movie and like worry about another movie later.
Yeah.
Instead of making two movies that
I've
are like
never
half the
looked at their
quality.
YouTube channel before. This is crazy.
How many?
Is
how many
it you're
subscribers
seeing
do they
the
have?
Ronald McDonald? It's all about killing children. Every
Well-
single one of their videos is just somebody killing children.
Well, but then
Yeah,
there's also a video called "Betting $50,000 on KSI versus Joe Weller," and it's
Who the
that
fuck
has,
is
like,
Joe
yeah.
Weller?
Well, that's
um,
which that's the thing too, is like it's like there's so much like on the internet content. There's a lot of different stuff, and
high
you can
stakes
be
Fortnite, losing
yeah. This is
shaved
like
head and
super.
eyebrows.
This is not stuff that you probably would see translate in terms of like, but
Hmm.
It's funny.
This is funny. Well, it's like I don't. Yeah, as somebody who doesn't watch their YouTube, like when I talk to people who I guess watch their YouTube videos, it's such a different like perspective. Because if I were to just like watch these two movies that they made, I would just be like, these guys are the biggest assholes alive, probably. Like I like just
Yeah,
watching
they
these
just
two
like
movies
beating
and
up
like these guys must
children
be
and
such
like
like pieces of shit. Like they just want to
Yeah.
like torture children on screen for us to like watch. I'm like, what is their deal?
yeah. But what if
But
they
that's
weren't
noble in a
Australian?
way.
they have several videos about Riley Reid for some reason as well.
Okay.
They have a video from 3 years ago titled "Dear Riley Reid," and I thought that was just a one-off, and then I scrolled a little bit more, and it says "Selling Riley Reid's bathwater." So I don't know
What
what's
is
going on
going
there.
on? What's going on with them? What's
But
their vibe?
it's like maybe they
Well, that's
are
what I'm
not
saying.
the
Like,
best
I was
people.
like,
Like maybe
what
they're not
are
as nice as everybody says
Who
they
are
are.
these
It's like
guys?
Well, so
like,
this was part of this, Screen Unseen. AMC does the thing where it's like
Yeah,
it
Yes.
shows a movie in advance, but you don't know what the movie is beforehand.
Yeah.
So this was that, and there was like an
it's a crazy
intro,
movie to do it.
really wild. They also did Magazine Dreams, which is far
Yeah.
more upsetting than this movie. Far more. It's like, oh my god, I don't know what they're doing with the Screen Unseen rollout at this point. It's just like, let's go ahead and trick people into watching something that will upset them for the rest of their life. And this movie, it's introduced, and I do think this kind of goes into what you guys were saying about how it's like just content to them. They have an introduction from the directors for this movie.
Yeah.
And it starts by them saying, "Oh yeah, so no, I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna do the accent." But it's like, this
You
is our
already
new
did it.
movie. We made Talk to Me, and it's about a Satanist who adopts some kids. And I'm
yeah, I was
sitting there
gonna
in the
say, don't
theater,
they
and I'm like,
spoil it in the thing.
oh, so then she's bad. And so I'm
Yeah.
not. But then you watch the movie, and you really don't know what the motivations or intentions are until like halfway through the movie, when it's like fully revealed what's happening. And it's like, oh, so they don't really care if you experience their movie in any way. And it was just kind of wild to me to see the two directors being like, anyway, here's our movie about a Satanist, and it has real blind people in it. And it's like, okay,
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah.
that's strange. I saw that they just spoiled the movie in the Screen Unseen. That's so weird.
Yeah. I think they even almost say that the boy, well, we're doing spoilers, right? I mean, it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's fine.
I feel like they say almost, or they heavily allude to the fact that the older brother dies in the movie in this intro.
What?
Really?
Yeah,
that
and
was
it's like,
like-
I think
that's
they
like a-
said something like not all of them make it out, or something. And it's like, what?
That's crazy. Because that's like a big third act like kind of turn where it's like because he's kind of
Yeah.
he kind of becomes the main character for a bit. Because he's like
The whole movie,
the
even.
protector of the
Yeah.
girl. So
Well, I think the girl's neglected by more than just her drug addict father. I think the movie neglects her too and doesn't
Yeah.
really give her any kind of establishment until the third act when she becomes
Yeah.
sort of the
Yeah, doesn't really
protagonist.
know what to do with her for like a good chunk of it.
Yeah.
It's like,
And
oh,
I think that's
she's gonna go to
unfortunate.
bed now.
I liked, yeah, it's like, well, she's tired. And it's like, okay, well, what's everybody else up to? Oh,
Yeah.
God. I
She's done.
liked the scenes where we're seeing everything out of focus sort of from her perspective. And I thought that if they had used that for the horror, it would have been a lot better. And to like kind of have what she's seeing present and we're seeing it too. And it's all, kind of out of focus and blurry and, give me like the uncertainty of the visuals and that
Yeah.
adds to sort of our dread. But they do it one time to introduce Sally Hawkins and that's it. And I just thought
Yeah,
that
no.
could have been really scary.
Yeah, when like the focus like changes, and then they just don't. Yeah, they don't do it again.
Yeah.
Also, how fucking crazy is it that she pissed in a cup and would pour it on him every night to make him think that he's pissing himself? While we're
Yeah,
on the
that
subject of
was
spoilers, that was what's going on there?
again, it does feel like
There's
it's
a
like
couple,
this is fucked up.
yeah, there's like a couple things in the movie like that where I'm like,
Yeah.
what the
She
like,
could have
what's
poured. Did she
happening?
think he was gonna taste the piss or something? She could have poured water on him.
Yeah, I
It
mean, like
doesn't
a
have
smell.
to be piss.
Yeah, I guess it's just for smell reasons, but
She was
but
trying,
Yeah.
you're
she
not
was trying
really.
to cover all the
I don't think you
bases.
really like. Are you doing a sniff test if you piss yourself though? Like it's like you kind of like what else could it be? You know?
But that
Yeah.
stuff, this when she does that stuff, and she's all the things that she's doing, kind of build up to being like you want her like I don't know. When like there's a scene where the older brother like kind of snaps, and you're like she deserves this. Like she's like fucking
Oh
like she's
yeah.
crazy. Like it's like
Yeah.
all the little things, even like just the piss spot on him. Like you're like she's evil. Like she's like so fucked up, and like she's being really awful to these people. So kind of
Also,
I don't know. It added to that stuff.
The scariest moment in the movie, honestly, or like most unsettling moment in the movie for me, might have been when she hits the girl.
Yeah, that was fucked
That
up.
was
That
like,
Yeah.
was
I was like, I wish the whole movie kind of felt like this because that was like weird and
yeah.
unsettling
That
the way
no,
that it
that
was
did
like
Yeah.
bother
in
me.
the middle of the night and she's just standing over the bed and then she just goes like, and then like
Yeah.
scroll
I
out of
loved
there.
that. I
I
thought it
was
was
like,
so funny.
that was cool, you know?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
to me, because I'm just sitting there in the theater, like, okay, what's she gonna do? And then she just goes and runs away, and I was like, girl,
Yeah.
get out of here, Charlie
No,
Brown. You're being
that
so
was
funny.
I liked that.
Yeah.
I also like the actual process of the ritual. Should we talk about that, or do we want to move? I don't want to like drag it,
We
but
can talk about it if you want.
Like circles on the forehead and stuff. Like
well, ultimately, what's happening is there's this possessed boy who has the devil in him, and you're supposed to have like a possessed person, and that person has to be starved. They
Yeah.
can't eat anything. And ultimately, you're supposed to have them devour the body of your loved one and then vomit the body into a third person who then becomes possessed by the original spirit of the lost loved one. That's like the
Yeah.
ritual. I thought that was a really cool concept. And that he's like hungry all the time and he's like always eating things because he's starving to death and he has a demon in him. I just don't know if first of all, it was like, boy, you didn't eat enough of her because you see him eating the dead body of the daughter that Sally Hawkins lost,
Yeah.
and then it cuts to her, and it's like, you're only gonna put the spirit of her nose in the other person, like you didn't eat enough for it to be. I thought he was gonna like pick the whole skeleton clean, and like you have to eat like the whole body, but he just like kind of gnaws on her face a little, and then
It was
he's like, I'm
cold. It
full.
was just you needed to microwave her a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah, leave her out in the sun.
Yeah.
No, yeah, they should have done that. That would have smelled so bad though. But they should have done that.
Yeah. Well, that's
Yeah,
what I
but
thought
it's
was
like
gonna. So I don't know, but I did think that that was like a fun concept for what eventually takes place. I just wish they'd really gone for it and shown him eating her. I don't know, or like show the performance of the ritual a little more.
I don't like how she becomes all pathetic and like gives up at the end and like starts like trying to reason with the lady and is like,
Yeah.
we can bring her back. I'm just doing a possession with the devil and it's really cool and it's like,
Yeah,
what happened to
you'll
you
like it.
being Yeah. What happened to
Yeah,
Well,
that's why
Yeah.
that very much like it felt like okay, we've written up to this point, and we didn't have a plan, and it just kind of like it was
Yeah.
like okay, what that's I don't know, I didn't like any of that. All the decisions in that third act really annoyed me.
Also,
Yeah,
or like, why would the boy not just always be trying to eat? Like when the brother
he is.
breaks him out of the room, then he like eats the knife and like starts like chewing on wood. But it's like her bedroom just empty. Like, wouldn't he be chewing on things in the bedroom too? Like, why he just stands in there, but then when he gets let out, all of a sudden he just starts like eating every object in front of him.
Yeah, the actual like,
like, like what makes him hungry, right? Like, it's
yeah.
like,
Maybe I don't know. Maybe
no,
there's
you would
some.
think that she would like put a fucking muzzle on him. Like,
yeah,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
It's like, or like,
Yeah.
or like lock him in like a room with nothing in it. But it's like he's just in her bedroom. Like, it's like, wouldn't he just start eating her fucking like bed frame or something?
It's
Her
interesting how
lotion.
like he's just like kind of out and about like when they come over, and he's like, "Oh, here's your little brother." Like I don't
Yeah.
know the fact that they
He's
don't
just like
she
in
doesn't
the
hide
pool
him.
eating like a cat.
Yeah, like they don't. She doesn't hide him a little more.
Yeah, what
Yeah.
happened to the cat, by the way?
It ran away into the woods, I guess.
That shit would have been so funny if he ate the cat and then vomited that into the little girl, and then the movie ends and it like zooms in on her. And
It's
just
like
goes,
she's just a cat.
meow, and that's the end. I would have loved that shit.
Oh, that's silly.
That would have been awesome.
Okay. You guys want to add anything else about Bring Her Back before we move on to the news?
Go see it if you think you like that kind of thing.
sure, sure.
Yeah, that's a good endorsement.
It's
okay.
fine.
We're gonna talk about the news. As always, like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube. Rate the episode on Spotify and Apple Podcast. You can follow us at all of the links in the description, and you could follow Max at those links in the description. Not too much news today. I guess by far the biggest piece of news is that the main trio for the Harry Potter TV series has been cast. Dominic McLaughlin as Harry Potter, Arabella Stanton as Hermione Granger, and Alistair Stout as Ron Weasley. You guys have anything to add about this trio?
The guy that they cast as Harry Potter looks like he has an Instagram account. And I think it's interesting how because of
I think it's going to be isn't it going to be a modern take on Harry Potter?
Is it? I have no
I
idea.
think it's going to be set in
Like they got like
now.
cell phones.
Yeah, they got,
yeah,
like,
I
cell
think
phones
so.
and stuff.
Where did
I
you
could
do
be
that?
wrong, but
I
like
feel
How can do that?
the whole like
I don't
What a
know. Imagine just like
disaster.
Instagram posting from Hogwarts, just
all of
like,
the
just
all
like
of the
flying
thing,
on a broom.
all of their reasoning for making it was like, oh, it's gonna be more book accurate. So I would kind of
Oh, maybe
if
not.
they're gonna be
Yeah,
I
like,
I
mean,
feel like I saw one of the
if
actors
they're
like
gonna be like
saying
doing
some
like
detail
TikTok
about the world where
dances.
they like.
yeah.
No, I
Hogwarts
don't think they
didn't
said something about
work if
social
everybody
media.
had a phone in their pocket or like camera in their pocket. Hogwarts just
Yeah,
wouldn't.
I don't know. I wonder if
They don't
there's
know.
like
It's
if
a
it's been
modern
confirmed.
take, but phones don't work in Hogwarts
Because of magic.
because of magic. Yeah,
I'm not going to that school then.
They should have like the Rizzler as like a
Oh.
transfer student.
The Rizzler
Get
should
Charlie
have a
D'Amelio in
cameo.
there. She's one of our most powerful wizards.
This is gonna be the biggest show like of all time.
Probably, yeah.
What's the point of it? Why are they? Is it just for money and they don't
For-
care? What
for
what
mon-
is going on?
So it is
Yeah.
for money, but it's also like kind of the justification that the showrunners have kind of put out is like
Sure.
it'll be way more accurate to the books because it's going to be
Yeah.
each book is going to, you know how each book got one movie, right? Each
Sure,
book is
yeah.
going to get a whole season of TV, like whole like
Yeah, well, it's kind of like
11
what
episodes
the
or
Percy
whatever.
Jackson series is doing, but that series is like taking like a long ass time, and like that's what like with TV now. It's like it takes like a couple years to make it, so the kids are growing up so fast that like
Yeah.
I think they've only gotten like a season or two for that show. But I know like J.K. Rowling like hates like Daniel Radcliffe and like all those like people because they're like, hey,
Yeah,
you're
she
like
hits a lot more than Daniel Radcliffe.
no, but like
Well, she's like,
no, she hates them because they're like, hey, you're like transphobic and we don't like you anymore. And
Yeah.
so she like wants to like kind of get Harry Potter without those people because she's done like tweets where they're like, who are your
Yeah.
like there's a tweet out there where it's like name an actor that like if they're in a movie, you know you're not gonna watch it or whatever. She's like, I could name 3, or she
Yeah.
does like these like sly comments where she's
There's-
like,
And she'll be
Girl,
more
this is
involved with
why
the
you were homeless.
show than she was in the movies.
yeah,
I will say also for about J.K. Rowling, I do want to make it clear to all the listeners that might not be super aware of what went on with her. She's not
Yeah.
just like transphobic, which she is,
Yeah.
like she is,
Yeah,
but that's not it. She's also like actually really crazy, like really like something is wrong with her, and she's like lost the plot with reality. Like
Just got
Isn't
more-
her story like, oh, I was eating out of garbage cans and then I wrote a book about a wizard? Isn't that
She-
like her whole thing? Like, it's
yeah,
like
she was
she's
like
probably.
poor, and then Harry Potter was really successful.
She said she was homeless,
Yeah.
and it's like if she was homeless, I don't know. But like I was reading that woman. It's like let it go, queen. Like what the fuck? This is crazy to do this. She dug
Yeah.
her heels in so deep.
yeah.
She might be one of the most hated public figures ever, and it's just
Yeah.
bizarre.
No, but it is because I mean I'm assuming most people don't like keep tabs on her because why would you? But it is really like it's not just
Yeah.
that she thinks that trans women are men or whatever. It's like she's fucking actually crazy, like lost the rocker, like not in
Yeah.
touch with the reality. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Um,
tried to find some source on when it's set. I guess I don't know what
There's
I heard.
no
that made
way
me
there's
think it was
gonna
the
be
modern
cell
day,
phones in them.
but nothing is
That shit would be so
confirming it. So
funny.
I guess it's probably set in the 90s. But also, this article is so bad that there's a section of the article that says who has been cast in the show, and then it lists the 3 children that just got cast, and then you scroll down 2 paragraphs, and it says, have the children been cast? And then it says, no, they have not found Harry, Ron, and Hermione yet. And I'm
article.
like, what's
but
going
what
on?
it's like Nick Frost.
They probably updated the article and then just didn't delete the part.
Nick Frost
that-
is Hagrid.
Is that true? You're lying.
No.
No.
Nick Frost is Hagrid.
John
Isn't he
Lithgow is
5'9"?
John
John
Lithgow
John Lithgow is Dumbledore.
is
Dumbledore.
Dumbledore.
Yeah.
I don't know the actor's name that plays playing Snape.
I thought John Lithgow died.
I also forgot, bro. I can't. They got the showrunner for Succession on this, bro.
Yeah.
I
It is
forgot.
good. This is gonna be such a fucking disaster. Like I cannot imagine making this decision.
Man. Yeah,
Is Hermione black? I remember there was like a scandal because in like a play or something she was.
I don't know if she's black, but she's not white.
She's not white.
Yeah,
darker than
She's been
Emma
previous
Watson. But
Well,
like people were saying
Emma
like,
Watson's palette.
but people have been pretty. I know there's like obviously like internet trolls, but I think like people have been pretty like positive towards her casting.
Okay.
Like, there's a lot of like weird face. You'll see like on Facebook or something like they're like, these are all great, but like we got to talk about Snape. That's like what the comment will say or something.
Oh,
yeah. So
I don't know. Yeah,
don't
it's just
know.
always so kind of shocking when people are like,
Yeah, a
it's
lot
just
of the
it was.
stuff I've
I
seen
remember it
about
was a
the-
scandal because she was played by a black girl in a play or
Yeah,
something.
she was
And
black
it's
in
like,
the play.
yeah, and it's like, but it's like you're 35 years old.
A lot of
Yeah.
the conversation I've seen were really like by like presumably Harry Potter fans or whatever. Were kind of
Uh-huh.
like, oh, it's different, not even that bad. We're like pointing out that Hermione is played by a woman of a different race now, or going to be, and it's like just pointing out, not even necessarily like hatefully, but like a lot of people are just pointing at it, just like pointing it out and
Yeah.
being like, that's
yeah, I
different.
mean, well, it's like the kid who plays they're gonna play Harry and Ron.
Yeah.
They have the features that are the similar than the last guy. So there's not a lot to talk about other than like you said, he looks like he has an iPhone or something.
I think
that's like
they should make
that's really
King-
the only thing you can say because they're kids without like a lot of. I think she also.
Yeah.
It's been pulled up like she's a lot of background in like theater and like there's more to kind of talk about with her than the other two. I feel
Again,
like.
this being like a prestige HBO show and the showrunner of Succession, the Succession showrunners.
Yeah.
Kevin, what
No,
are your thoughts
well-
on this? You're the biggest Succession fan in the world.
I will say the Succession guy, I don't know if you guys are, well, actually, that's stupid. I do know that you guys aren't going to watch this, but the guy who created Succession, his first feature film came out yesterday on HBO.
Oh,
It's called Mountainhead, and it is similar to
Yeah.
Succession. It's like Steve Carell, Rami Youssef.
Oh, that came out yesterday.
Yeah, it came out yesterday. I was going to watch it yesterday. I'm hearing that it is really bad.
Oh,
And,
Yeah, it looks.
I remember
and it
we
seems
talked
like
about this.
that Succession is the most like lightning in a bottle, like they fucking nailed it thing ever, and every time they repeat it, it's just going to be a
No,
disaster.
Peep.
But
They did
Jesse
Peep Show,
Armstrong
right?
isn't involved though.
Okay, you're talking about
It's
Mark.
Francesca
Oh
Gardner
no,
and Mark Myrod. It's those
yeah,
two, and
Mark Mylod.
yeah,
Yeah, okay, yeah. Well, Mark
yeah.
Mylod's just like
Wait,
yeah.
who did
He's
Peep Show? Is it the same people?
Peep Show is the guy who I'm talking about.
Jesse
It's
Armstrong.
Jesse Armstrong, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that show's really good. Really,
Uh,
really good.
I could also just be getting this mixed up. Peep Show.
Because it's like the three of them did Succession, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
I didn't know.
and
I
it's
didn't
only
know
it's like
that Jesse
and it's the
Armstrong
two
was
with
involved. Okay.
and it's
Yeah,
without Jesse Armstrong.
Jesse Armstrong is one of the Peep Show people. So
Okay.
Okay.
he is good at but they tried to I wasn't talking about Peep Show because that's so different than Succession, but like this
Yeah, sure.
movie that he made is like for billionaires, which is like very like Succession, like you
Yeah.
know, and it's just like awful apparently. But Peep Show is like an entirely different thing than Succession. Anyway, yeah. So if you're talking about the other people, I'm pretty sure those people are just like hacks. I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
Mark,
sure, yeah.
because Mark Mylod directed the menu,
Menu,
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
stuff like that. Like he's just like
So like
you know,
the
he's-
official showrunner for the Harry Potter show is Francesca Gardner, who was one of the Succession writers, and then Mark Mylod is like whatever the next in the chain of hierarchy right under showrunner. You know,
Okay.
that's
Yeah.
what it looks like. Anyways, but there's
yeah,
a lot of
she's
talk
got
about this Harry
like
Potter
Francesca
show, but-
Gardner has like other TV stuff that's pretty successful. She worked as a producer on Killing Eve, which is a big show, and His Dark Materials.
His Dark Materials
but-
looks terrible. I don't know what the fuck
Yeah.
this is, but this looks. Lin-Manuel Miranda's in this.
You don't know what it is?
No,
I think it's adapted from a book.
wait, is this Lin-Manuel Miranda, Daphne Keane? What the fuck
Say
is
that name
this?
again.
Yeah, it's got Kit
Lin-Manuel
Connor in it,
Miranda?
who we're going to talk about in the news in a minute.
I keep
boy,
thinking you're
Kit
saying
Connor.
a different name. I don't know why. I thought you said Lim Well, and I was like, "What's going on?" I thought I hallucinated. Sorry.
I think it is interesting though with the Harry Potter cast because it does feel like, this is gonna be, you said it's gonna be the biggest show ever or whatever. It does feel like, okay, here are some people that you never knew that are gonna be famous, really, really fucking famous, because they're gonna be like, it's like sort of like with Millie Bobby Brown and the Stranger Things kids. Like those kids go on to kind of, even if they're not in a lot of great things,
unless you're Noah Schnapp,
they're not doing a lot of work. But even with Noah Schnapp, everyone knows Noah Schnapp's name, right?
Yeah,
Like,
sure,
so,
but he's just gonna like have
no,
to
oh
retire when
no.
the last season comes out.
But I'm saying like with Finn Wolfhard and everything like that. It does feel like if this is as big as we're thinking it's going to be, these kids are going to go on to at least be famous, right?
And probably
I
in
saw a video of Noah Schnapp on the red carpet for like promoting the final season of Stranger Things and talking about how like when they wrapped filming Stranger Things, he was like crying, and someone quote tweeted it and was like, he's crying because he's not going to be able to find a job now.
You're gonna have to go
they're
on
saying he went to the
unemployment.
Gal Gadot School of Acting or something.
Yeah, no, I mean he is by far the worst actor on that show. Like it almost has no, like, he's not. It's easy to hate on him because people like don't like him for being a Zionist and whatever. But it's like when you like he's just
and
whatever else he did. I mean, I don't know whatever he's like but
He came out too. I can't decide which is worse, but they're both bad.
But like the other people, like the other child actors on the show are at least like doing stuff outside of it. You look at like what he's done outside of Stranger Things, it's like he's like struggling to find a real project outside of Stranger Things. Everybody else is at least like doing something. Even if it's like more slop, at least it's
I
like
think he went to Penn State or something.
Yeah, there you go.
Isn't
I'm
he
sure he'll be
always-
fine, but, like,
Is he always incapacitated in the show? Is that like his thing? Like he's the damsel in distress
No, I
in the
think he's.
show?
Well, I don't know. I guess I haven't seen the most recent
I,
stuff.
I think I only saw the first and second season, and in both of those, it's like, let's get this kid out of here. Like that's what it seemed like was the plot every time. Even the second season, it starts with him being kind of the primary focus, and then he's like, "No, I'm going to be bedridden again," and that's like, that's what happened.
What the third season? I don't remember.
We've talked about this a little bit. I've talked about it a little bit with Kevin. I don't understand the Stranger Things phenomenon. I don't
It's like
understand.
crazy. Well, you
Yeah,
know what's funny
I
is
don't get it
also
at
that I
all.
was also talking about this today because they released the like this isn't in our news, but they released the schedule for how they're releasing the final season of Stranger
It's like
Things, and it's
3
like
cuts.
so
3
so the first 4 episodes come out in November, then the next 3 episodes come out on Christmas Day, and then the last like final episode comes out on New Year's Eve, and I'm like, dude, the people who are fans of your show are like 26 now. They're not like watching Stranger Things on New Year's Eve. Like they've got places to be. Like it's New
Those
Year's
fucking
Eve and they're
losers are absolutely
okay,
watching Stranger.
sure,
Are
but
you
like
kidding me?
no, sure, but you
Well,
know what I mean?
we
It's like
know
it's
people, or shout out Jesse. We already shit on him a little bit earlier. Jesse went
No,
to a
Jesse,
fucking
shout out. I love you. I was kidding.
for the last
But go
season
ahead.
of for this last Stranger Things season. He went to like a big like watch party where they binged like all 9 hours, like the night of, from like midnight to 9 a.m. or whatever. Like,
Yeah, that's what
like
it's
that's
like
and I
that.
had friends like that. I had friends like in high school who were really into Stranger Things and like bought all of like this like bought all this like merch and stuff, and I'm like, that was during like season 2. Like that was like so long ago. Now we're like, you know
Yeah,
what I mean? They're
well,
it is
grown
crazy.
up.
It's
Like,
2025 and we're still talking about Stranger Things
well,
though.
like I
yeah.
said with the Percy Jackson show, and this is another example of just like a show that with kids and like around kids that just like has taken so long that the kids are so old now,
Yeah,
that it's like weird. But I think
Yeah.
it's even worse with something with like a pre-existing IP where it's like they have to be a certain age in each season,
yeah.
because it's like how it like it's especially with like Harry Potter where it's like this is a school year, right? You can't just like
Yeah.
be 3 years older next school year. Like that's just not how that shit works.
But I
It's
mean,
not
the movies have sort of the same problem, right? Or am I wrong?
Yeah,
Isn't it?
no,
I
yeah.
mean, by the end of the movie, it's like
They're in
Harry
their
Yeah,
Potter
I mean
versus
20s.
they're a
retirement or
little
something.
they're a little older, but I mean those came out pretty like every other year.
Yeah, no,
Faster
they
than
put them out
Stranger
pretty
Things, which I'm
fast.
But
like,
that's still
I
like
mean, the last Harry
14
Potter
years, isn't it?
movie. No, the last Harry Potter movie came out in 2011 or whatever, and the
Oh,
first
okay,
one came
okay.
out in like 2001.
yeah,
Like,
those were
Okay,
like
that makes sense.
yeah, they were releasing them pretty quickly. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously they're gonna grow up,
I
but
mean,
like
they skip
Stranger
it,
Yeah,
Things
but
is
the
the
thing is,
same
like,
thing.
it's supposed to be 5 years of school, and they did that over 10 years, right? So
Right.
it
Yeah.
was, yeah.
Yeah,
But it will
I
probably
mean,
be a similar
even
situation where it's just like I'm
It'll
still
probably be
young.
similar for this TV show. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. If,
People aren't gonna give a shit. People don't care.
here's the thing.
I don't. They just
It,
want to see Harry
it
Potter
does
with
it
the
does take
iPhone.
a long time for TV shows to come out now, but I feel like if you get like the Succession people on here and you give them infinite money, they'll figure out a way to get these out kind of quick.
Yeah, and it's
Sure.
also like it's just gonna make billions of dollars. Like, there's no way this show. I'm
It
trying to
will
think of
make
like a single
infinite
way where
money.
it could
Infinite
fail,
money.
and I don't think it could fail. I don't think there's an opportunity for this to even be less than a cultural phenomena.
It would have to be like so bad. Like it would have to be like not even
I
just
don't
like
think
the
even
four
that
of
would.
even like the four of us think it's really bad. It would have to be like your coworker watches it and thinks it's fucking boring and lame. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Yeah. Anyways, we were talking a lot about this Harry Potter show.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I was gonna.
yeah,
I was like, I
took
didn't
off.
realize we were gonna talk about Harry Potter.
We're
for a
already
while.
contributing to the problem.
Our next piece of news is about Talk to Me Too that we brought up earlier. That Danny and Michael Filippo reveal that they have written 2 different scripts for Talk to Me Too that they are deciding between. One is continuing the story exactly from the last movie, and the other is focusing on a new set of characters. I don't know if you guys have any opinion on that.
like
or,
what I
or
don't. This is a very weird. They have a weird like kind of.
They have a
way of going
their
around it.
writing process is
Bizarre,
puzzling.
yeah. Because it does feel
just
like
wrote 2.
there's like oh whenever
They sound really productive. The 2 of them together as a duo sound incredibly productive.
incredibly
yeah.
productive, but also like
maybe one each just like
They
wrote
should-
their own
yeah,
script,
like,
and they were
they
just
gotta
like,
do
we'll just pick the better one.
yeah.
It literally
let's see
does
them
sound like
split.
that maybe, where they come up with all the ideas together, but then like they both like to get as much writing done as possible. They're writing different scripts. Like
Yeah.
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a prequel, did you say? Sorry.
one of them.
No,
I think
it's
is,
a
right?
it's a sequel.
It's
they're
either, but
both
it'll either be
sequels?
with like the same characters,
But
or
it'll
they have
be with
another
this-
script with new characters.
Yeah.
So, okay. Could you imagine
I don't
it
know
is
what-
the same characters and they're like, "Do you want to do it again?" It's like, "No. What do you mean? How would the same character
Yeah.
be incorporated into the plot at all?" It's like, remember when our
Yeah.
friend almost killed my younger brother and then killed herself instead? She sacrificed herself. We should do the hand again. That was cool. It's like, what the fuck do you mean?
Yeah.
What would be the access to the horror? Like, are they still
Yeah.
being affected by it or something? But I'm not like,
Doesn't
The hand is like
doesn't
alive
it
now.
end
Yeah, it's
like,
crawling
in
around.
another, it ends like, in another country? Like there's the hand like in another place.
they're not
Yeah,
putting the
sure,
movie
but
in
then-
Spanish. I'm telling
but
you
then
right
that's-
now, this movie's not going to be Spanish.
No, I know, but
100%.
it kind of leads
that would
like
be
that.
cool though. That would be kind of cool if it was in Spanish.
if that's what they were
It
doing
takes place
though,
in like
then
Mexico City.
then those two scripts are the same thing. Like it's like if that's what you mean, if picking up from where it ends with the people in another or where it shows the people in another country is the next movie, then that just means they're making a movie with a different set of characters. Like those people weren't, you know what I mean? So that's like
Right.
what are
And then
the-
it's like, so
what's
then it's like the
difference between two
same
scripts?
thing. Like, how could you advance the concept? Because my only problem is that it is a pretty encapsulated movie, and it feels kind of singular to me. Where it's like there's not really a single thing that you could do, other than like we're in Venezuela. You know, it's like what are we?
Yeah.
So what do you do now?
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's like
Yeah.
let's do.
But if
Talk
the
to Me
problem
just,
is that
like,
they
with a
can't come
different,
up
like,
with
aesthetic.
Yeah.
Yeah, if the problem is that they're just going to keep recycling the same thing between Talk
Yeah.
to Me and Bring Me Back, and they can't like, then, I mean, might as well just keep making sequels, right?
It's
Just, like,
it's
do
gonna be Talk
up a
to
good
3 instead of Talk to
Well,
Me.
they were like in the talks with the Street Fighter franchise thing, and then like they like creatively
Get that shit out of here, out of my face.
went differently. Like they like left that project, and I have to think like it would be interesting to see them do something like completely different because like you
Not
can't make
Street Fighter, though.
No, I'm just saying like you can't make Street Fighter like as gory as this. Like you can't make it like that, right? Like I don't think.
That's not part of its. That's not part of its identity, though.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like it's like
you could do whatever you wanted, but that's not part of the.
sure.
Yeah, it's not.
He's
It's
like
not what we
shooting
want.
knives in Street Fighter.
Yeah. But check this out. Dalston is in there. He's like stretching out. That's just so racist. Oh my god, they're not gonna put that in the movie.
But no, Dalsum. You have to put Dalsum in the movie. Anyway, Dalsum,
I know,
like,
but he
stretches
can't
out.
look like that. You can't have him be like an actual like Hindu.
Well, then it's okay.
You know what I mean?
I know. What you mean.
It's just a racial stereotype. Like that character's like a demon or something. You know.
Yeah. Our
His
next piece
head's
of news
moving.
is a piece of video game news. Kit Connor in talks to star in Alex Garland's Elden Ring film adaptation for A24.
Oh my
In talks to star.
God.
And talks to
But-
star as the. I'm so confused by everything that's going on.
Kit
Yeah.
who?
Doug said he didn't know who Kit Connor was, and I was
Who's
like,
that?
You do know who he
Like a
is.
TikTok
I don't know who
He's
that-
the kid in Heartstopper. He's the main. He's like one
You
of the
guys are
two.
what? You're watching Heartstopper? What's going on?
That's what I'm
I
saying.
stopped watching
That's
it.
what
to
I'm
be fair.
saying.
I stopped
But-
watching it after the second season.
Is that the
but-
one where children explode for no reason? They
I'm
just
sorry.
like
No.
You said I stopped
What's
watching
that
it
one?
after the second
It's like a
season.
gay coming of age show.
that's worse. I'd
It's
rather
like
my
about,
kid
like,
blow up.
It's about
I'm
like
just
two high schoolers falling in love.
That's so
Like, they
stupid.
explode.
Okay, sorry, Doug. Sorry, Doug. What were you saying?
He was in Warfare also,
Nothing.
which
I
is
wasn't
with
saying
Alex
you didn't.
Garland
What?
directing. So
Um, what's the show where the kids blow up? Spontaneous.
what?
There's a show called Spontaneous, and it's about like teenagers exploding. I'm not joking. It's real. It's based on like a young adult novel.
And Kit
And
Connor
it's like-
is in it.
No.
Probably,
There's
it
a
sounds like the
movie
type of thing
called
he'd be in.
Spontaneous.
I think
Oh,
that's it.
shit.
It's based on a young
Wait,
adult novel, though.
This kid in
Yeah, I looked up
Spontaneous
the
looks like
movie
the kid from-
Spontaneous, and there's a YouTube video that says teenagers are exploding.
Wait, Charlie Plummer.
That shit's crazy. So he's gonna be in the Elden Ring movie. Why Elden Ring instead
Because
of
it's the big hot IP.
It is the big hot IP.
do Skyrim or like Dark Souls?
Wait, is this? Oh, never mind.
Don't do any
Okay.
of them, Alex Garland.
Yeah, no. My
It's
my thing
Did you
is
say
like,
Alex Garland? Sorry.
Max, you
He's
live
gonna
on planet
direct
Earth?
that?
Yes, yeah, he's writing and directing it. The Elden Ring movie.
What if there's someone gives birth out of their penis in it for some reason? It's like I don't
See,
know.
that would be
What's-
cool. That would be cool, though. That would be
Because
Well, it
cool.
wasn't in
Doug
Men.
likes
No,
men.
that's
Doug
Doug's
likes men.
favorite part of any Alex Garland movie.
Ugh. Lord have mercy. You like
I-
men? No, he's kidding.
Yes.
Okay, Heartstopper.
Yes.
Sorry.
But no, it's like it would be that's like the only hope for the Elden Ring movie is that Alex Garland does just put a bunch of fucking sick, disgusting shit like that in the movie. That would be cool. I would like
Well,
that.
he's going to, but it will still that didn't save any of his other ones for me. But
Um, Kid
Civil
Connor, I don't
War.
understand. Like, none of you guys even do you? The main character in Elden Ring isn't a character.
I know
That's
he's customizable.
yeah, he doesn't like he's the tarnished. He's just a vehicle to like go like explore the world with. So I'm like, what are they gonna do?
Don't be dense.
Someone,
No, I'm just kidding.
someone had
You
to
know,
do
I
it.
mean, they're just gonna add a story to the shit. You know what I mean?
I
It's like
know,
there's
but, like,
lore.
has to be in the
why? But, like,
movie.
why?
I know. Well, because it's gonna print money. I mean, that's just like how it is. Any IP is it's like check your IP, please. Make sure it's
They're
safe
gonna
because
they're gonna Minecraft movie the Elden Ring game.
Yeah.
It's gonna make $1 billion.
that's
It's
what
gonna make
it's like.
It
That's all
won't be
there
the
is
last
to
one.
it. This movie's gonna make a shitload of money, and they're gonna make 6 more of them, and they're gonna be
Hey,
like,
but when
and
it
then
makes
it's gonna
$2
end.
billion, you
Yeah.
guys will know who Kit
Well,
Connor is.
It'll make
so-
so much money,
I
especially
know
because
who
like
Kit Connor is.
unlike every other video game
Yeah.
adaptation that has come out, like Elden Ring is still topical. Like Elden Ring is not that old.
Oh,
Elden Ring
true.
one
Yeah,
game,
yeah, yeah.
that's what I mean. It's like a lot of these other games are so old. Elden Ring,
Well,
like
that's why I was like, why not Dark
Yeah.
Souls? It feels like they should do one of the earlier ones first. But
Yeah, I
I
don't
don't know. I guess it's
Yeah,
Elden
but this
Ring.
is like more, again, like you said, it's more topical. This is like that's why it's such a big, like, kind of button topic.
Can I ask,
'cause
have any of these big fantasy franchises been successful other than Game of Thrones? Like, is
no, because these guys
Rings of
suck at doing this
Power
shit.
and
no,
These
Rings
guys
of
don't-
Power was not successful.
Witcher was not successful?
Witcher was, but Witcher was like
pretty successful.
But Witcher was like not expensive though. Witcher was like a pretty like inexpensive TV show.
Yeah.
Compared to Game of
That's
Thrones,
surprising.
it had like way less budget, right?
And then you had like what,
Um,
Wheel of Fortune and Fantasy or something? And then there was like,
That's the Raisuke Hamaguchi
I know,
movie.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. There was something called
Oh.
the Wheel of Time or
Just
something.
Keeping you
But
on
I
your
don't think
No,
toes.
the Wheel
any
of
of these
Time.
movies or shows have really caught on. Like Rings of Power, I
Um,
don't think I've ever met a human being who watches
Would
that.
you
I
know a
watched
few.
Rings of Power.
would you
I know
say
a few.
It was
Wicked
really boring.
is fantasy?
No, Wicked is a musical. That's for gay people.
But it's like fantasy element, like musical.
Yeah, it's Wizard of Oz though.
No,
like,
I
it's
know,
like
but
way
I'm
different.
saying like I don't think fantasy is the issue. I think like a lot of fantasy is just relegated to TV now.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
talking about. I'm specifically referring to when they're making these sort of plot-based IPs that are based in fantasy into TV shows.
The thing about Elden Ring
It's not
isn't plot-based,
successful.
though.
It's because of
Yeah,
Game of Thrones.
like-
It's because of Game of Thrones, and it's
Yeah.
everyone wants their Game of Thrones, so they're like, oh, we can't. Fantasy is a TV thing now, which is
The thing about
weird.
Game of Thrones was like there were these really excellent books that were like way better written than all of the other fantasy books, and then that just kind of translated into a good TV show.
Yeah.
You know, like
Max,
it's-
were you talking about the Wheel of Time?
Yes, yeah, my friend loves high fan. Like he's like really into the Game of Thrones
Yeah.
books and Lord of the Rings and stuff. And he was watching that, and I was like, "This is the dumbest looking shit I've ever seen." There's a Minotaur in it. I was like, "Is this Power?" I thought it was Power Rangers. I couldn't believe it. And he's like, "No, it's like this big prestige show." And it's like,
Yeah.
okay, well, this
Well,
is.
I think it's like,
I think
you
it
know,
got canceled.
everything is like trends. And right now, like the big budget. If you want to make a big budget movie, it's a superhero movie. If you want to make a big budget
Yeah.
TV show, it's probably like that's where the fantasy goes. Which
But
is
that's
weird.
the thing that's so surprising to me is that it's never successful.
the TV show.
I don't think so. I mean, you had
Yeah.
Game of Thrones, and that was it.
Mhm.
I don't think
well, I
any
mean-
of the other ones have been even
Hey,
remotely as
House
good.
of Dragons
Yeah,
is successful.
that's what I was like.
House of
It's
Dragons.
also
That's Game of
but-
Thrones.
No,
Yeah,
but
that's
it
also
is
Game of
like
Thrones.
So I don't know.
No, yeah, because like the Rings of Power, right? That was the most expensive TV show ever, and it
And
was
it did
like
not do well.
it did like okay, but it didn't do great though. So like
Yeah.
then it was a failure because of that, right? Yeah. And also that show was any of you guys
Yeah.
watch that shit? I watched the first
No.
season. It
No,
was
but
so
that's
boring.
that's
So
like
boring.
stupid like IP shit where it's like we're gonna just
Yeah.
bank on like the IP bringing in people. and there's such a great opportunity for like even like not even like that's super fantasy, but even the Del Toro Frankenstein movie is like that's a pocket that's at least like no one's really doing something like that, and of course it's on Netflix. But like even Nosferatu, not even I didn't even like that movie, but there's some level of like kind of aesthetic that's not really being put into movies that are coming out really.
Yeah.
Yeah. If A24 wanted to use one of those guys they have a good relationship with to make the Elden Ring movie, it should have been Robert Eggers. But the thing,
Yeah, but
I
I
don't
don't
think
think he would want to do
he
that.
he
Yeah, I
wouldn't
don't
have
think he'd
wanted
do
to
that.
because he would have been like, "This shit's fake," and it's just
Yeah.
too much
Alex
money.
Garland feels so weird, but yeah, A24 also they want to move into bigger. They want to be less indie than they
They want
are
to make more
now.
money. Yeah, they want to make way more money.
So
Well,
this
you're
is like
getting
their
talked
kind of,
to me, so it's like, sorry, go ahead.
but this is kind of their first entryway into like a kind of blockbuster movie almost.
I'm gonna
So
be fascinated to see like
we'll
what
see
the
what happens.
reported budget is on this thing,
It's going
Yeah,
to
and
be
like what
huge. It
the
has to
plan
be
is.
huge.
That's the thing; it has to be huge. The
Yeah.
entire world of Elden Ring it's completely invented. You can't
Gore
shoot like on
Verbinski's Elden
location
Ring.
in Elden Ring, or it just changes. It would be so different. You know,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think Gore Verbinski would be
at the
way
very
more fun to
beginning
watch
of the
his Elden Ring,
game
though. I would actually be kind of
in
excited
Elden
if
Ring,
Gore
That would
Verbinski
be
was doing
like
it.
that would be so awesome.
at
Well,
the
he also
very
did
beginning of
CSI, so he
the
has
game,
TV experience. Sorry, go ahead.
you walk out right, and you see the whole fucking world. You see the entire
Right.
world. And that's like the first thing that happens in the game. So it's like, I don't know what they're gonna do with this, bro.
It's going to end,
Yeah.
and it's going to be like, have you ever heard of Bloodborne? And then it zooms in on his face, and then the next movie's fucking Bloodborne, and it's like, this
No,
one's
it'll
got...
end and it'll say "Tarnished will return" because it's like all the characters in all of these Miyazaki Soulsborne games name is Tarnished. That's just what
Yeah.
they, you know,
Oh,
like,
crazy. That's crazy. I don't
And it's
know. That's
all Kit Connor.
and it's all Kit
Yeah.
Connor. That that's a very video game idea.
Bro's about to make a fucking $1 trillion.
Crazy. I don't know.
The next piece of news. Sabrina Carpenter is reportedly being eyed for a role in Mamma Mia 3.
Mamma Mia,
I mean,
That seems
she's
to
up.
fit
here we
well.
go again.
Fortnite skin.
Yeah.
Mamma Mia 3.
Is a Fortnite skin?
No,
Yes.
yes.
Oh.
Buddy
Lock
doesn't know
in.
about the Fortnite skin.
I didn't know
I
about that
know.
either.
Oh man, yeah, good for her. I don't know. I haven't seen a
Next
Mamma
thing-
Mia movie.
Next thing you know, she's
They're
gonna be like, she's gonna have a Call of Duty skin, and then
Is that even necessary? Like, you're already in one game, now you're moving into movies. Would you go back to?
Well, she it's interesting these when you see like a Disney Channel or like a young actress then become a pop star and then not really ever do both. I mean, it's a lot of work. There's so much like work,
Yeah.
but even like with Olivia Rodrigo, comes from acting, and then she hasn't done anything. It'd be cool. I think it's cool that Sabrina Carpenter wants to do some acting. It'd be cool if it was not in maybe Mamma Mia 3, but like I think it's fun. I just know I'm not like I've never seen those movies, so but like
Take it
she's
easy
very
on
it'll be a
talented.
big
of course.
deal. Those movies are popular. But
Yeah, their movies are
Yeah.
popular.
Is it
and she'll make them more popular.
Is it? Well, I guess. Is it saying like is she be like the lead or like she be a big thing or is
I
it
don't.
She like
is
I
there
don't-
enough
No,
ABBA
she wouldn't be the
songs
lead.
for another movie?
They have like
There's
700
always-
songs.
There's
I'm gonna
always
say
more.
yes. I
Well,
don't
you're
know.
going on
That's
this
what I'm
back
asking.
catalog. That's crazy to me. It's like everyone was singing along to Mamma Mia. That's like why it worked. This one
Yeah.
is gonna be like their ballads. It's like fuck. Oh
Yeah,
no.
because it's like they have two movies full of ABBA songs, and now it's like,
Yeah.
oh, now they're gonna do a third movie again full of ABBA songs.
It's gonna be
that
AI
sounds
ABBA
crazy.
songs. It's not even real songs, but nobody knows. What's that
Uh,
one? The colors. Sorry, on the pedals. It's like the AI crooner song, like the 30s style romantic song. You guys know what I'm talking
don't-
about?
What the fuck are you talking about?
There's
I
that song. There's
know.
a TikTok song that has like 1 million uses. The sound has been used 1 million times, and it's like, we're in the middle, And it's like people are using it to show like they're awful children. They're awful kids in the advances.
Did you
Like,
see the
look how
kid?
tall
Did you
my
see the
daughter
kid
is.
where like the people got stuck on the flight and she was singing? She was like singing on the plane. They're like stuck on their plane for 2 hours, and she like went on the mic and started singing Moana for the whole plane, and it was like fucking awful.
I'd throw
And
up.
everybody was commenting, just being like, I would be so angry
Oh.
if someone let their child on the mic to sing Moana
Terrible.
after a flight being delayed for 2 hours.
Is the live action Moana come out this year?
Yeah, something like that.
Oh, the Lilo and Stitch
I think.
movie.
Oh wait, no, it's next
The
year. 'Cause
Smashing Machine?
This year was just the new Moana, right?
Yeah, Moana 2. Yeah.
Or whatever. So I think live action is probably next year. I don't know.
Yeah, they're
I'm excited
anyway.
for the Smashing Machine. though.
Speaking of sequels, our last piece of news, Ryan Coogler says he has no plans for a Sinners sequel. Quote, I've been in a space of making franchise films for a bit, so I wanted to get away from that. I wanted the movie to feel like a full meal.
What would the Sinner sequel be about?
Blues.
I don't know, but as soon as the movie did well, people started suggesting it.
It would be the two
Yeah.
vampire characters at the end of the movie going on adventure.
Yeah, just like a different time.
Like that's what it would be.
period. Yeah.
I don't think we need that.
No, we don't. Well,
No,
he
we
agrees
definitely
with
don't
you.
need that.
So
Yeah.
he's on the same page as you. So
They're always trying to put that man into a sequel. Like, just let him make one movie.
Yeah.
Although, whatever.
well, he does have to make another Black Panther movie, doesn't he?
Yeah, Black Panther 3 with Denzel Washington.
Is that a joke or is that real?
Well,
It's
yeah,
not a
he's
joke,
directing the
it's
next
not
Black
a
Panther
joke.
movie. Yeah.
Denzel Washington's in it?
Yes. They've
yeah.
well, they're like, it's something had happened, but there's been conversations that are like, yep, we're gonna do that. Denzel's gonna be in it. So
I didn't see the second one. Black Panther's dead, though, right? And then Shuri becomes Black Panther?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
So they
And then
killed him in the
Denzel-
movie because he died in real life, which is like crazy to me. I think that was a terrible mistake, to be honest.
He doesn't die on screen in the movie, but
I
there's
understand that, but
yeah, he dies
to me,
in
it's like
yeah.
Yeah, you probably should have just you got enough heroes to just make a different.
use the reality stone again. You know what I mean? It's like bring him back. I don't understand how they snapped him out in in Infinity War. He comes back for 10 seconds, and then it's like Black Panther 2, but he's dead. And that like is so crazy to me in the way they're handling
No,
this.
he like dies with like he in the movie he has like an illness, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Do you remember, Kevin?
I don't remember the details, but yeah, it's like something off screen.
And then the whole movie is them
like
he dies because of an illness, and the whole movie is them like is grieving that he's gone.
Yeah.
That's wild to me. I don't know. And so the third, I didn't even know they were going to do a third one. That to me is, it's going to be a Namor movie.
Like,
Yeah. Spike Lee is directing it.
Don't lie. Are you lying? Because I genuinely.
Spike Lee's busy. Don't worry.
Spike Lee's busy watching fucking Knicks games, bro.
Posting
Okay,
AI.
Well, not anymore.
Not anymore.
Yeah, Black Panther 3. That sounds terrifying. Like, what would they do? Is it what's the second one? Is it like Ironheart fights Namor? And it's like, what are we doing?
Ironheart? Isn't that the new show that they're making?
No, isn't
Yeah,
Ironheart in
Kevin,
Black
did you
Panther
even
2?
watch Black Panther 2?
Why would I remember what happens in Black Panther 2?
Because Kevin, 2 years ago you were like,
Brian
I
Cranston.
love Black Panther. Those are words that you said. You were like, I
Yeah.
love.
I said, yeah,
Black
I like the
Panther.
first one. Yeah, I didn't like the second one though.
Yes, bro. The Ironheart is in Black Panther 2, dude.
And it's
Yeah,
like, and
and
it's
Mephisto
like,
is in
I'm
that
sorry, I
show.
don't remember the
No,
details
sorry.
of the MCU.
I'm the only person that remembers what happens in any of the movies you watch. It's fine.
it's just crazy
I have
we have
bad
like
memory, dude. I
Ironheart,
just, like-
Namor, and like everyone but Black Panther and the Black Panther sequel movies. It's just like it's like what's going on?
No,
Stop doing
but
this.
she's Black Panther now, though. You know.
She is?
Yeah.
Ironheart
Like
is?
actually. No, what's her name? The girl, the
Shuri.
anti-vax.
Shuri.
Yes, yeah, she's Black Panther.
It's woke. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. It's just they just gotta
Black
stop
Panther
making
2
those
got
movies.
too woke.
They gotta stop making the Marvel stuff is like crazy. What do you guys think about the Fantastic Four trailer?
It looks cute.
Um,
bad.
Any other
Yeah, sure.
thoughts? No, I'm just kidding.
No,
Sorry. It's like
literally
I just
no
think
other
that
thoughts.
looks.
Just that it looks
Yeah,
cute.
like it's like sweet. I
I'll
don't
just
think I'll like
rewatch
hate
the
it.
Michael Chiklis one.
Yeah, my thoughts
Okay.
are I really like Vanessa Kirby and I really like Pedro Pascal.
Yeah, I do
Yeah.
too. I just wish they'd be in something.
Same.
Yeah.
I wish. Well, Vanessa
It's like
Yeah,
Kirby's
being
Doug and
a
I had this.
movie.
Doug and I had this exact
They're
conversation
both in
about
Ridley
Pedro
Scott
Pascal
movies.
for 10
That's
weeks
true.
straight.
Yeah,
They're
that's too
neither of them
bad.
are in
No, I'm just kidding.
necessarily like his better movies,
What's
but
the guy's name? Joe
um,
Keery. He's Johnny Storm or
Keery?
something.
No, that you're
Other
thinking
Stranger
of
Things guy.
other Stranger
Joseph
Things
Quinn.
actor, Joseph Quinn.
They're all
Yeah.
Joe
named
Keery
Joe.
does
That's
the
just
music.
fucked up.
Joe
Yeah,
Keery
Joe
does
Keery's
like
the one that makes
when
music.
I'm
When
Yeah.
back
I'm
in
Chicago, I
I
feel
feel
it.
it.
Oh God. Yeah. Shut it down. I think if we took a break from making movies for a year, where it's like no movies come out and everybody just has to catch up on stuff, let's do like COVID once every 5 years, just to restart. It's a
Bro,
reclaim.
they didn't stop making movies during COVID. Tom Cruise figured that shit out. Tom
Yeah,
Cruise
he
figured
just
out how to.
gave everybody COVID.
No.
That's why he broke
No.
his leg. That's why.
No.
But I don't know.
Okay, we can wrap up there.
Next week we're doing the Phoenician Scheme.
Yes, and from the world of John Wick, Ballerina.
Is that the
See, this
worst
is what I'm
title
talking
of
about.
any movie? Is that the worst title
Yeah,
from any
it's
movie?
probably the worst title for any movie that we're ever going to talk about on the podcast.
From the
yeah.
world of John Wick, Ballerina.
Yes. Those two movies next week, episode 121. Reminder again that Max's links are in the description. And we'll see you next week.
Thank you
Bye.
guys. Bye.